What's good, y'all? We are live. Thank y'all for tuning into another live stream from We Are Decipher. Hold on. Where's that coming from? Where's that coming from?
That's me.
Come on, DJ. Come on now.
All right,
Come
we
on,
good.
DJ. Real quick in the chat. How are we sounding? Mic check. Mic check. Check your mic, DJ.
I'm good. Mike, check, check. Can y'all hear me? Mike, check. Can y'all hear me?
I can hear you. Hold on.
It's lit.
Okay. Okay. MS Bynum, what's good? Slade, what's good? Carmen San Diego. Neil Ward. Let me see who else is in here. Dante 86.
Shout out to
Jen
Ozu.
Lee, KK, Ozu, Alexander, and Kondo. I think that's how to pronounce that.
Yeah.
Jams, Miss Mia. We're gonna get you some help too, Slade. We're gonna get you some help tonight, I think. Elbow, shout out to everybody in the chat. But real quick, do us a favor, share the live stream. Share the live stream, please. Make sure you hit the like and share the live stream. Give me 1 second and I'm gonna share it as well.
Yeah. Do that.
Then we'll get started.
Yes, sir. All right, we in there.
Shout out to Danny Ali. Good to see. Good to see you too. Hold on, let me post that. Shout out to you for the first super chat. Danny. Shout out to him. He be showing love on the on Instagram too and on the Patreon. So definitely shout out to him. What's good, man?
We appreciate you so much, man. So much.
Live stream. Okay. Oh, which one of them you want to shout out to Neil Ward. Appreciate y'all providing valuable YouTube content. It's a lot of goofies with a check. That is a fact. And we take what we do here very seriously. And even before all of this stuff started, we was taking it super serious. And one thing I do want to say, we might have like reached y'all through a reaction, but this is not a reaction channel by any means. We do album breakdowns, lyric breakdowns. As you can see, we're about to do some hip hop discourse. We got some stuff coming in 2025. Chilling with Moni, what's good? We got some stuff coming up in 2025 that's going to be a product of some of the more stuff that we can do outside of reaction. So where you want to start first, bro? You want to start with Drake or you want to start with Joey?
I think I got a little bit more to say about Drake. So let's just say that for the back end. Let's talk about Joey and this attention-seeking ass nigga, man.
Okay. Shout out to Miss Mia. Can't wait for this. Let's get to the real. Let's go, DJ. What you got?
I just don't understand. Like, what's your angle? Like, what's the point? Like, I understand in terms of wanting to be competitive. I get that. But the shots he threw at Kendrick to me seem like it's real personal. Like, what's your issue, bro? What's your problem? You know what I'm saying? I don't get it. But ain't nobody talking about Joey Badass. So just for you have to do something like this to really draw up some attention. It's kind of telling, I feel, because ain't nobody else talking really about his music outside of this. So I don't really know what else to say about dude. Did you actually hear the song?
Yeah, I listened to it. I did. Of course, we didn't do a reaction, but I just wanted to hear it. Sometimes I had that thing where I just can't wait, and I just I catch it on social media, and then I end up listening to it a little early. But I listened to it; it was straight. Because of course, the Kendrick shots kind of caught me off guard when I was listening to the second verse. Because when I was listening to the first verse, I'm like, it's good to hear from Joey.
Yeah.
Like I've been a fan of Joey Badass since I came after. I came after 1999, so I missed that era. But Before the Money was my introduction, to Joey Badass. Like when we went to Summer Jam that year, he was performing tracks from that outside. So shout out to V Kindly doing my part to support the work. Much appreciated, my brother. But yeah, so yeah, I've been a fan of him for a long time. So when I heard it, I was just like, this is dope. It kind of reminds me of that bag he was in on his last album, 2000. But once that second verse started, I was like, what the hell are you doing, Joey? What are you doing? Who gave you permission? But I get it though. I get it though. It's like, this is how you enter yourself into the conversation.
Mhm.
This, you start the year off, you make a big statement, you shoot at the big dog, you get his attention, or you try to. It's not even really shooting at Kendrick for a response from Kendrick. Like, that'll be
Yeah.
a plus. What Joey is doing is trying to garner attention around him by shooting at the biggest person. Kendrick just had one of the biggest years
Mhm.
in recent hip hop history. You know what I mean? That could probably date back to the year that DMX did the 2 number ones. Just a lot of, like, he had a huge year. The year
Yeah.
that Graduation came out, when Kanye beat out 50 Cent and kind of changed the trajectory of hip hop. What
That was a
else?
big year, bro.
What else?
That
Yeah,
Graduation versus Curtis, bro. It's could be rare when we get a moment like that again in terms of just like head to head albums. They were trying to do it with Donda and CLB a little bit, but it didn't really hit like that. But yeah, I agree with you. Like in terms of him trying to just get a buzz around himself, I get that. But I
yeah.
don't think it's necessary. But people are really trying to make it seem like he's doing the rallying cry for the East Coast versus the West again. And I don't think it's that.
I don't think it's that. I think it's more of a, I think it's more self-serving than anything. I don't really think he got nothing to do with New York outside of him trying to stake claim. If he's calling for New York to stand up, and that's what I was saying, Moni, I don't think he's doing it. I don't think for 1 second this is about New York. I think this is solely about Joey Badass and him putting himself into the conversation. I don't think it has anything to do with New York, because the only thing that he said when he mentioned New York was that he was the king of NY.
Yeah.
Like, he's using New York as a platform to stand on, to be like, I'm repping for over here and I'm shooting at them niggas. Like, this is strictly to the West Coast. West Coast had a huge year. So in order for me to try to grab some of the attention that they have,
Yeah.
I'm gonna shoot at them. I don't think for 1 second he's intending on Kendrick to respond.
I just didn't like him saying the whole dick licking the West. I just didn't like that. That shit kind of pissed me off a little bit. And I ain't even from the West. You know
That's
what I'm saying?
that's a repurposed Jay-Z line from 22 Twos.
Yeah,
So it's like,
man.
I get it. Like, he's from New York. He's repping. In that sense, he's paying homage to a New York great and Jay-Z with,
Yeah.
shooting that shot, which when Jay-Z said it, it was kind of some kind of the same stuff going on. The West was having a year. So, you know what I mean? I understand it. I understand it. But what's gonna happen is one of them young guns from the West might pop out and say something. You feel what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, we got a Simba, we got Rayvon, we hit a J3 was on Twitter popping shit. So
Yeah.
there's a very real opportunity that he gets energy back from somebody he did not anticipate. And that will create the energy to where, oh, he got to stand up and say what he got to stand up. He got to stand on what he said. And
Right.
then it might bring the hype of it down, because realistically it can end up being a Tory Lanez versus Don Q type situation, where the rap exchange itself isn't on that level, but it's good, a good back and forth. You know what I mean? But ultimately it won't result in anything. You don't remember? Like, Tory Lanez is a fool.
No. You said it was a good back and forth. Tory Lanez and Don Q. Tory Lanez smoked that nigga. What you mean?
I mean, like, as far as
He
like it
smoked him
ended
and Jordan.
well, and it was an opportunity for him to showcase his skill. That's what I mean.
Oh, okay. All right. All right.
But yeah, after a while he started dragging Don Q. Yes, and the better back and forth of the two was Tory Lanez versus Jordan Lucas. But that's
Right.
beside the point. What I'm trying to say is, um, a lot of people are coming from the aspect of, like, he can't say nothing against the West. Yes, the fuck he can. Like, he can say something. The thing is, you have the right to speak, you have the right to act, but also the person that you act against has the right to respond. So
Absolutely.
I think Joey is good enough to handle himself. But if it, depending on who decides to pop out, it could be a thing. But if not, it'll just fade and it'll be over with within a week, because what Joey did wasn't dope enough to stand on its own. It's going to need something else to get it out of January.
Right. Is he going to? Because that was clearly just like a warning shot. If anything, it wasn't no full fledged. Like, I think when you make a statement like that, it has to be direct, and I don't feel so that was direct enough to make it be like, oh, this finna turn into a back and forth type thing. Like, so, and then does he have like music coming out? Like, does he have a project coming out that he trying to push?
I would think that this is a part of beginning a rollout, because he said the whole thing is the ruler's back, which is also another homage to Jay-Z. You feel what I'm saying? So I wouldn't be surprised. And that's the thing too, Moni. Imagine doing that and getting ignored. I'd be so that's the game he's got to play. And that's why I say, like, his best bet is to get a response, and that's why he didn't make it I'm shooting at Kendrick. You feel what I'm saying? Because if he shoot at Kendrick, the probability of him responding is so much lower. Shout out to Slade. He crashed out, but he did not break the backboard. The backboard is intact. Yeah. All the rim, the nets still look neat. They still pearly white. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it's nothing wrong with the rim at all. Like, no bolts are loosened or nothing. So he put himself in a situation where he's leaving it up to maybe the culture to drive a response from somebody.
Yeah.
Or for somebody to respond. Because let's say like a Hitter J3 respond, and he get the better of Hitter J3. It kind of took the wind out of what he trying to do.
Yeah.
But like, let's say a Ab Soul respond and they have a good back and forth. That's good for Joey. That's good for hip hop. That's good for the West. That's good for, you know what I'm saying? That's good for real rap, because they were able to have a decent squabble that didn't lead to anything, because it's still rooted in competition and rooted in rap. But don't be surprised if that dick licking part gets taken very seriously from some people from the West Coast.
Yeah.
Because I don't think like that part gets attention, that part gets headlines, but that part is also disrespectful, and people can respond in a way that they feel appropriate as well. What you think about that?
Somebody in the comments, I think, Houston or Huston, I think that's how you say his name. He said Earl Sweatshirt versus Joey. How you feel about that?
I tell you what, that's like Irving Plaza, SOBs, House of Blues level rap off. Like, it'll be good for like underground hip hop fans, but like that won't really tap into the mainstream. So if his thing is to get attention at a higher level, that's not gonna do it for him.
Yeah,
that won't do it. But it could possibly be a good exchange. But the thing about Earl Sweatshirt is Earl Sweatshirt had to somebody else will probably have to pick his beat if in that exchange, just because so it won't drag. You know what I'm saying? Because in rap back and forth, you need a certain type of energy from the beat to help propel what you're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? So like that would be important for him. But I don't think it'll be bad though. I don't think it'll be bad. I just don't know if it'll be what the casual fan would want to hear. But for hip hop, people would like it though. It'll be a good mid-tier rap off.
Yeah, no, but as far as you said, Ab-Soul, no, that wouldn't be close. And I think the chat kind of agree with me on that. That wouldn't be close. Ab-Soul would smoke him.
And that's why I said if they had like if Ab does and Joey makes a good account of himself. Because the whole thing with Joey, what he's trying to do is like prove he belongs. So if he can get in there with Ab and Ab don't kill him, that's good for Joey. But the risk is Ab doing to Joey what Lupe did to Royce. And if y'all real hip hop fans, y'all remember what Lupe did to Royce. He obliterated him. You feel what I'm saying? Like he didn't. It's not gonna be a round two. I'm gonna smoke your boots and get you up out of here. And I don't care how you take it. Schoolboy Q versus Joey. I think it really should be somebody from Joey class, man. But the thing about it is, shit, Joey our age, kind of. Sandy's Chance, shout out to you for the super chat. Mace, Cameron, and other NY rappers have been slick about Kendrick. That's a fact. NY tries to be a bully. Rap ninjas. I agree. But the thing about it is, a lot of those people also had ties to Drake.
Drake, yep. I was just going to say that.
50%, Cam and Mace, Dipset, Jim Jones. They all had, one way or another, they had ties to Drake. So the thing is, whether or not it's still lingering animosity from Kendrick saying he was the king of New York on the Control verse, or their connection to Drake, or a little bit of both. And also New York, they still haven't stomached the fact that they are no longer at the top of the totem pole as far as hip hop. And I saw Slade say, "Let Simba get that joy." That'll be the one.
Yeah, because Simba can rap.
Exactly. And Simba is going to do a campaign to make sure it gets out. Because when he went at, who he went at last year? Did he go at J. Cole?
Yeah, he went at Cole.
And then Cos responded. So I think that'll be good. That'll be a good back and forth.
Yeah.
I don't want Schoolboy to jump in this.
Yeah, I don't either.
I really don't want any of the elder statesmen from TDE to jump in. If anything, let Rayvon get in there. I know Simba's not TDE, but let him get in there. Who else? Who else from the West that could come in there and get some smoke? Somebody said Earl. I don't think Tyler is of that ilk.
You got Mozzie.
Mozzie from Alabama, bro. He from Mobile.
Mozzie? No.
Yeah, Mozzie from Alabama.
You sure?
Hey, tell me if I'm wrong in the chat, but Mozzie's from Alabama, right? I think Mozzie from Mobile, bro.
I thought he was from the West Coast.
Isaiah Rashad from Chattanooga. Problem? Nah. I don't know if Problem got the chops, but I'm not super familiar with Problem like that. But I don't know if he can go at Joey though. Let me see. Moni said, if Tyler responds, would it solidify him in the big three generation? Sending appreciate that. If Tyler responds and smokes him and holds up a flag for the West, I think it does make him look good. I do. I think it'll make him look good, and it'll just further his it'll further cement his standing. But one thing, and I'm glad you asked that question about the big three, Moni. Shout out to Kendrick, who just recently the album Damn went platinum. Went diamond. Now all three members of the quote unquote big three all have an album that's diamond status. Drake, well, Drake's hasn't been certified yet, but there is different reports about Take Care being diamond, but the RIAA hasn't certified it yet. So it's in between 8 million and 10 million units. So if that's the case, and that's one of the rubrics, Tyler hasn't made it there yet. But if we're strictly talking about content, impact, sales in this particular stage, that would help Tyler either make his way closer to the big three or start to possibly be the flag bearer for the new big three. And that's the thing. Are we going to try to attach him into that one, or help him be the part of the next wave of big artists?
The chat said Mozzie from Bay Area, California.
I guess I was wrong. My bad. Hold on.
Then they said another matchup, a dark horse matchup, J-Rock versus Joey Badass.
They just gonna keep throwing them old head TDE niggas in there, man. They want somebody from TDE to smack his head off. I'm not mad at it. I just think that somebody from this generation should do it. Somebody from his generation or slightly younger should do it. But yeah, I mean, if one of them get in there, I think off rip he's gonna lose. I think Schoolboy Q would beat him. I think Absol would beat him. I think J-Rock will probably be more of a competitive because J-Rock isn't super lyrical, but J-Rock being that energy though. So if J-Rock come out bombing on him, it'll be a different energy. Like, I don't know how he's going to be able to lyrical his way out of like back-to-back bombs, because you got to remember, like, the closest person to Kendrick when he was K-Dot was J-Rock. So that energy, like that type of energy, he got that from being around J-Rock. So I wouldn't be surprised he come out bombing on Joe and put him in a tough spot, because at a certain time it's hard to lyrical your way in a rap battle sometimes. Like you have to be able to be a mixture of all of them. Joey is 29, he's old too. J-Rock might be 39 though. It's different.
Ooh. Westside Boogie versus Joey?
I would be here for that.
I would be here for that.
Hey, because remember I told you, I think in that generation, I think Boogie might be the most lyrical out of that generation. Maybe
he's
barring the Earl Sweatshirt.
He's the most complete artist, I feel, out of that new class, in my opinion.
He's fire, but I'm trying to. He might be in that class with Tyler too. Well, Tyler is what, 34, so he might be younger. So he's shit. Jid old too. Jid 34, 35. He just look young.
That is true. Yeah,
he just look young.
But
let me. I
like.
Go ahead.
I like Boogie though. Boogie, that's the one. I would love to see Boogie just tear that nigga head off, bro. I would love that shit.
Because I don't know if bar for bar Joey can hang with Boogie.
I don't think so either.
I know for a fact that Joey has the ability to he came up restoring the feeling of NY boom bap, but I don't know if bar for bar he could get in there with hang with what's his name? I'm forgetting his name. His name's slipping. Westside Boogie. I don't know if he can do that. But so. Moni said something about a big three. I don't want to miss what she said. Damn, so many comments. The big three of Cole, Kendrick, and Drake can't be rearranged, even without a hoopla as of recent. There can only be a new generation, and that's what I think. And I think that would be a mixture of Tyler, Jid, and somebody gotta fight for that third spot. Is it anybody that you can think of
for the
third spot in this newer big three?
Travis Scott wouldn't be in there, would he?
Yeah, he would. Slade, shout out to Slade. Here's the thing though, Joey isn't the man in his borough, city, or coast. He has to solidify himself in his own backyard before challenging others. I agree. I think, and that's the bad part about this. I feel like Joey is trying to skip the line.
Yeah,
and that's why a lot of people aren't receiving this the way that he thinks they should, because it's like everybody like y'all was cool when Kendrick did it, but y'all mad when Joey did it. Drake and Kendrick have been 1A and 1B, whoever you want to say is 1A or 1B, but they have been opposite ends of the same coin their entire careers. From Good Kid, Mad City to now, they have been on a collision course. So that's completely different. Them going head to head since Control was kind of inevitable.
Right.
Like this is completely different. We can't put them on the same level of equivalence. But let me see. Who head raps say my big three is Kendrick, Tyler, the Creator, and Doechii. And as bad as I despise Nicki, that chick is the king of New York. Who can debate it? She just this last album went platinum, and she sold out every venue she went to, if I'm not mistaken. So I think she's the last Mohican from the older days of New York. Sandy Chan said, let's shake it up for real. Let Doechii take on Joey. Hip hop revolution.
I ain't gonna lie. I think Doechii will kill this nigga. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I think Doechii will wrap this nigga wrap circles around this nigga.
I do know where she's from. Doechii's from Florida. So I don't know where she would fit in this mix. But if it happened, is that the first like intergender rap battle? I'm pretty sure something happened like back in the day, but like as far as like mainstream in the last 30 years, would that be the first one?
I'm thinking about URL battle rap smack.
Come on.
That's what I'm thinking about. But yeah, I don't think it's been like a mainstream male versus female like battle ever. I mean, you got, Drake taking shots at Megan and Megan responded, but that's not really like a battle per se. So, I don't think we ever had one.
Imagine she get in there and call him a bitch. Like, what happens then?
I mean, she did. In so many words, she did.
What happens? She jump in there and call him a bitch, man. Okay, Roxanne Shante had the first intersexual, but intersex, not intersexual. Meg smacked Drake upside his head. But that wasn't like a beef though, or like a rap, not a beef, but that wasn't a rap battle. That was like two girls having a disagreement in the bathroom. You feel what I'm saying? Like Drake was talking and he didn't notice Meg was behind him in the bathroom. You feel what I'm saying? Like that's different. I'm talking about like a legit head-to-head mainstream hip-hop male versus female rap battle. I haven't seen one of those.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I think it would get really, really ugly, bro. If we had one, I think it would get so ugly with so much all the pillow talking that's done in rap and hip hop in general. I think that shit get really, really, really bad. So I think that's why they haven't yet.
And I also think that the woman, whoever the woman was, I think she would have the leg up because she would be able to say things that the man wouldn't be able to say.
Yeah.
And that's not, because just imagine how crazy it'll sound if he called her out her name some serious on one of them songs. Like the battle almost kind of end because at that point you asking a whole generation of women to not be sensitive.
Wait a minute, hold on. I think I got one. J. Cole versus No Name. What you got?
Oh yeah. I forgot about that. I forgot about him. And speaking of, shout out to Drake God for the super chat. He said this, and then it got swept up in the chat, so he decided to super chat. But we appreciate that, J. Cole, the king of New York. That's for New York to decide. I don't know if New York is even claiming him like that, and is New York standing on him getting on that stage apologizing? New York, if it's anybody in the chat from New York, are y'all standing on J. Cole getting on that stage and apologizing and then proceeding to sneak this? Is that how y'all giving it up?
That's crazy.
So, is that who y'all trying to put up there? But I don't think No Name will go against Joy. And her perspective has always been about like, because she was attacking Drake and not Drake, but J. Cole and by proxy Kendrick Lamar because she felt like they weren't doing anything with the riots and stuff. Whole time Kendrick was outside just not publicizing it and giving money where it mattered. So I don't know, bro. Who they say Kaya versus Trina? That's two women. I'm talking about a woman and a dude. I'm talking about a woman and a dude.
What?
Shout out to D2B2. He was the sponsor of the last chat. Shout out to D2B2. I'm from NY. J. Cole ain't NY. Shout out to him. Had to highlight his like a super chat because he threw a bag in this whole last time. Think of it as Eminem. This is Gory Fantod. Think of it as Eminem versus a black man. We would say Eminem is limited because he can't say the N-word. No. Eminem could do so much.
Yeah,
he could do so much. Like Eminem's talent would extend beyond him being able to say a word that would make him racist. Like, granted, if he did, it'll piss off black people, but like Eminem's like reach would be so much greater, even with or without him being able to say that word. So like that equivalence, it doesn't necessarily match for me. But like, because I don't think the other person would lean on calling Eminem an N-word. That's what I mean. You feel what I'm saying? Like Doechii could literally call Joey Badass out of his name vilely for an entire song. And Joey could not respond in kind because it would upset, like it would put hip-hop media on his head and people would have to come to grips with the fact that he was talking to a woman like that. Especially with it, you know what I mean? I don't think it would be cool if he did that. I think people wouldn't respond the way he would want them to.
Yeah. It's almost kind of like, well, I don't really think this is a good comparison, but people use this a lot. Is like when men and women play basketball versus each other. Like people automatically assume that just based on stature, body, the man will beat the woman in basketball. When honestly, I feel so there's plenty of women that can smoke a lot of dudes on the court, bro, but they're just not really given that opportunity, given that chance. So I think it's kind of similar to that, like in terms of rap. It'll be like, why you hitting on that girl? You know what I'm saying? Why you beating on that girl like that? When she coming with the smoke, bro. Like she can rap. You know, I think it'll be kind of something like that, you know. But I don't see us getting anything like that anytime soon.
Mm-hmm.
But it would be interesting to say the least.
Somebody said, didn't Asian Dolls smoke Tory Lanez on the diss track? Tory Lanez was in a lot of rap offs, crazy enough.
Yeah.
I remember something to that effect. I don't remember the song. Like I feel like it's not on the level that we're kind of discussing at this point. Because if Joey Badass got into a rap back and forth with somebody on the level of Asian Doll, he's going to regret it because it's not paying dividends for what he tried to do with the song. But Christo Davis said, yo, folk don't want to admit Bacole only truly went at folk he could punch down. I've been said that.
Yes.
I've been said that.
Yes.
That's why he backed. I told y'all last stream I wasn't talking about J. Cole no more. So I'm gonna let DJ, if you got something to say,
hell yes.
I'm not speaking on him again.
Because we mentioned this about his run that he had over the past 2 years or so, his feature run, him going and rapping on all these songs with all these. I mean, I hate to say it like this, but it's the truth. Like B and C tier artists that you are on a different level than, but you going to here spitting the hardest shit on all these songs, and you making yourself like, yeah, you see how I'm killing all these songs, killing all these niggas on the song, can't nobody fuck with me, but you ain't rapping with nobody of your same caliber. The last time he truly rapped with somebody that can rap, that I can remember, was Rhapsody, and Rhapsody damn near got him out of here on Sojourner's Truth, if I remember right.
Ain't no damn near. She got busy on that song. Don't make me go get the vinyl. She got busy on Sojourner's Truth.
So
I mean, Sojourner. She got busy on that one.
Yeah, so I mean, J. Cole really only rap with niggas that he knows he's better than, or people that he can punch down on. And I do remember the Diggy Siggins beef, or the back and forth or whatever. Diggy smoked that nigga. I don't care what y'all say. I remember that shit. He got it, that nigga, about his sister. But yeah, Cole, he don't really want that true competition he be rapping about, bro. And it's been made obvious. So I just accept that at this point.
Yeah, he gonna keep walking around in the varsity gym looking for smoke. Like when it's a whole team of elite, real deal hoopers on this other side of the court, that he only go over there if it's 5-on-5, but he will not play 1-on-1 with the big dog that side of the court. He put a shot up against Kendrick and said, you know what, bro, I'm gonna get my ball. It ain't even worth it. What? You just said I can't beat you in the game, and then dang, I'm talking about him. I'm going against it.
You can't help it, bro. Can't help it, man.
J. Cole said he wanted smoke. Then Kendrick summoned a volcano. Cole teleported to the halfway. Shout out to V Conley in the chat, man, with the super chat. Super Senior going at the JV squad. Exactly. Yes. McCona. Exactly. Yeah, Rhapsody scrape Cole on Sojourner. Let me say this though, since I am talking about J. Cole. J. Cole is a great rap talent. We cannot take that away from him.
Absolutely.
J. Cole has one of the best technical rapping abilities of his generation. J. Cole has showed time and time again that when it is time to rap, just rapping, the craft of rapping, J. Cole has continued to improve throughout his career. But there will be a very huge conversation to be had on the release of the Fall Off.
Yeah.
And I vehemently stand on that. He has a lot riding on that album, and that's why I kind of don't want to drag it anymore, because he's not currently in the limelight. He was able to reinvigorate his fan base with the Inevitable series and pivot that into the Dollar in a Dream concept with Madison Square Garden. 2014 tickets for $1. So I thought that was I thought that was dope. I thought, even though when the Inevitable was recorded has a huge bearing on how I feel about it, but that was huge for him, because he was able to pivot at least for his fans, chat, he was able to pivot away from the beef and go back to the persona of him being humble.
And to be honest with you, if he would have never dropped Port Antonio, I probably would take the whole podcast rollout, dropping the extra songs from Forest Hills Drive, all the kind of rebranding he's done. I would take that personally a lot better, and I'd probably be actually invested in it in a sense. But that Port Antonio song, bro, that just kind of killed any like credibility I have in him right now. Like, I'm good on this nigga. I don't want to hear shit else until the fall off. I'm just being honest. So
I agree. I agree with that point you're making, because I feel like if I'm looking at it chronologically, I feel like the inevitable and then the following performances at Madison Square Garden, it feels reactive.
Yeah.
And the release of these 10-year-old songs from Forest Hills Drive, it feels reactive. You know what I mean? Him talking about how he felt like Kendrick took off on him when Good Kid, Mad City came out. It feels reactive. You know what I mean? Like all of that, a lot of that stuff feels like posturing. You know what I mean? But if it was actually recorded 2 years ago and all of this was a planned rollout, that him jumping in the beef was supposed to help bolster at the beginning of the year, and that's why his people was pushing him. That's like, bro, you know what we got coming at the end of the year. This can help. And then J. Cole did it and then had a conflict of conscience and backed out. If that's the case, that it was already put in motion, I kind of understand it a little bit, but I'm 10,000% against it if this was packaged and purposely done after the fact that Port Antonio didn't do what he thought it was gonna do.
Yeah.
And let me read this super chat from Miss Mia. Cole thought he wanted smoke, but forgot Dot stay in the smoker section. Hashtag smoker the bear. I agree. I think he did a lot of talking, and he ran into somebody who wasn't trying to talk. He said, "Come out in the street, bro. I got 2 hands with your name on it. What's up?"
Like,
J. Cole threw a rock and then went back in the house.
Bro, we could just do all body shots, bro. We could just do that, but we gotta settle this real quick, bro. Let's just run the fade, all body shots, and then we good. We could dap it up and go about our way afterwards.
Damn, I saw somebody call him J Collapse.
J Collapse.
That's crazy. This an interesting question right here. Sandy, I'm gonna get to your super chat in 1 second. No, let me do that first. They take priority. J. Cole is an all-star who isn't built for the slam dunk contest. And what the heck was Grippy about? Okay, let me answer this in 2 parts. I agree to the first statement because that one-on-one puts a different light on you. You have to carry yourself different in a one-on-one situation. That's why LeBron never got in the dunk contest, because it's a chance that you can lose, not your team. You can lose. And I think that scares people. And that kind of can be seen as a lack in confidence in your abilities. You know what I mean? Like LeBron chin was over the rim for the first 10 years of his career, but he won't get in the dunk contest. Why? Because he was scared to lose. It can hurt his brand.
And also, too, I don't think he has the creativity to pull off the dunk contest. Like, for the most part, you ain't seen really LeBron do no like 720s or 360s between the like East Bays. You ain't really see it. Like when LeBron dunk, he just take off, tomahawk that hole, bang it on him, and he just go about his way. Like, I mean, that's great because, like you said, the first 10 years of his career, LeBron was getting off on everybody who's in that goddamn lane. You can stop him. So I get that, but I don't think he had the creative mindset to be able to go in and do a dunk contest, because you can't do 3 tomahawks in a row and win. That's not gonna work.
Okay. So since I'm not gonna keep talking about him, if I'm not saying nothing positive, so do you think that what you just said about LeBron is applicable to Cole? A lot of skill, no creativity, or lack of creativity. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. But it was a question that said, who would win in a rap beef, Nas or Lupe?
I think Lupe is the better technical rapper. I feel, but I'm gonna give it to Nas just for the mere fact I think Nas is a better. Like, if he had a real problem with Lupe, he could craft that shit in a very, very great story. I feel, but
hold on. You talking about this? You talking about he better than him?
yeah, I think Lupe is a better technical rapper. Yes, I do.
Oh
I do.
no.
But I think Nas is a better artist though. All around, he has everything else better than Lupe. But technical rap, I think he's better.
I think Nas will win because
it's tough.
I don't think Nas is going to venture into trying to out rap Olympic Lupe.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's gonna get to the point and try to kill him. Like, I think if it's like the equivalent to a boxer who know how, like, he can box really well,
yeah,
going against a person who got knockout power.
Yeah,
I think Nas would knock Lupe the fuck out. But I think if they were to have a traditional boxing match for 12 rounds
and going by
there's
points,
a higher chance that Lupe could win because Lupe gonna bring out them double and triple entendres. Mm-hmm. So, okay. So let me say this. I might agree with the point that Lupe is a better technical all around just rapper than Nas. Because I never thought about it from this perspective. Like, I don't know too many times I've been listening to Nas and he get off like a series of cold ass triple entendres in a verse.
Yeah, he don't do that. Like, Nas
he's an excellent storyteller though.
Yeah, he's an excellent storyteller, and he has a lot of like poise on songs. Like, he never really raps or gets outside his element. You know, when Nas get on the song, you know what you're gonna get. Mm-hmm. And I think Lupe has a little bit more versatility, and just technically, I think he's a little bit better at just rapping than Nas. But Nas beats him on everything else. He makes better songs than him. He has bigger impact. Like he just overall, Nas is better than Lupe. That just rapping, I think Lupe is a little bit better.
Speaking of Lupe, shout out to Cam for this comment because I saw this earlier before we went online. I just didn't get a chance to watch the video. Shout out to Absa. If you haven't seen the live that we did with Absa after this live, go check that one out. But speaking of Lupe, Absa had a great video about Lupe and the AI situation with MIT. And from the short that I saw, it sounds like Lupe is helping MIT he's helping MIT do some type of AI work with rap. Being that Lupe is the same person who wrote and recorded and performed Hip Hop Saved My Life, how do we feel about him having a hand in the enemy to human creativity and AI in hip hop?
Yeah, I don't get what his angle would be in partnering and doing it. Like, wouldn't that just fade you out even further than what you are in hip hop? Like, I mean, granted, you are respected for sure, but you're not any mainstream or anything like that. People, you just got to be tapped in to really be listening for Lupe. But on a mainstream level, nobody's checking for Lupe like that. So why would you go and basically help the machine push you further out of the viewpoint? That don't make sense to me.
So this is what it according to Hip Hop DX, shout out to Hip Hop DX. Lupe has announced an AI-powered radio station he's dubbed Endless Loop that will soon see its way to FM dials. In a post on Instagram, Lupe revealed that the platform will be rolled out in 2025. Imagine if there was a 24-hour fully AI-powered radio station trained on all the intricacies of my rapping abilities and was carefully refined to produce the highest quality possible Lupe Fiasco songs, he said. Now, imagine it only played a generated song once and never again endlessly. Now, imagine the radio station was only available for certain periods of time and only in certain locations, and you needed an actual FM radio to hear the songs. That is disgusting. Because
what's the point?
So the computer generated AI system is going to take all of the information that Lupe feeds into it. And then from there, it is going to generate Lupe Fiasco songs on a Lupe focused radio station, right?
Yeah.
And that way it'll constantly create music. It'll create new songs from the computerized soul of Lupe Fiasco.
But again, how does that help Lupe?
It's just like if people want to hear new Lupe songs without Lupe having to create them, it's like he's feeding into, as he quoted, the endless loop of the wants of the people. But the trade-off with that is disgusting, because you are empowering a computer generated system to take, if it can take and even get within 70% of replicating one of the greatest minds in hip-hop history, what can it do with the rest of hip-hop?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He is putting his hand in an existential crisis of creativity in hip-hop. I don't like this at all.
I don't like it either.
I don't like it either. At all. And like you said, I don't understand his end goal unless it's just like he's so wrapped up in himself that hearing new Lupe, even if it's not him, is somehow good for hip-hop, which is disgusting, because it's like you're sacrificing the whole to appease yourself. And shout out to Zelda for the super chat. If AI can duplicate your raps, why do they need you? Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. So if it can duplicate or get even close to replicate something is on the level of intricacy and thoughtfulness and creativity of a Lupe Fiasco, it can get nearly anybody, bro.
So in that instance, right, it comes to fruition. It happens. Does he get a cut from these AI generated songs, or
if he's not creating them, then why?
That's what I'm saying. So like, what's the point of you doing this? You basically sit back, you never have to do anything ever again in terms of music, because this thing is going to be on an endless loop creating songs for you, but you're not even going to get paid from it. So what's the point?
The only thing that I could assume is kind of like how radio stations get played. Yeah, he would get radio stations get paid. Excuse me, he would get paid that way, but he wouldn't get any type of royalty from the song unless he's selling his intellectual property that's being used to create these songs to MIT. That's the only way I can see him getting paid.
So is this kind of like similar to when artists like lease out their masters for like a certain period of time?
No,
and get it back. It's not like
this. Okay, this is completely different. This is almost like doing contracted work.
Okay,
but at the end of the day, you're training your replacement, and that's why this is so insane. Lupe is in effect training his replacement to take it to a place where they ultimately won't have a need for rap artists. And there's a thing on Spotify that Curtis King has been talking about. Shout out to Curtis King. I think Rock Markman, mentioned it as well, where they have been slowly putting AI artists onto Spotify playlists.
Yeah.
So they can make money from the streams and royalty of the AI artists without having to pay anybody. So Spotify is pocketing the money from inputting AI music on their platform. So if they can do that, what do you do? Like, how does hip hop look in 10 years if they are able to revolutionize AI with one of the greatest minds in hip hop? It's not going to be great. Like, because if they can get Lupe to do it, they'll be able to get other artists to do it. And the contracts that'll start to get signed to be like, we own rights to your voice. And if that's not already in the contracts, and they start to put that in the contracts, they're able to replicate your voice. They already own your publishing if you sold that over. So they're able to take your songs and put them in this engine that's able to create facsimiles. So 10 years from now, it'll be a slew of AI artists. It might be an AI label in the next 10 years. And Lupe will be on the forefront of that. And that is insane.
And I saw a super chat here from, I don't know if you want to put on the screen, but from the Most Secret Science. And I do agree with this. It said, now you see why Lupe was defending Drake so hard after the tailor-made freestyle.
Because he was on the same bullshit. Yep.
Damn, that's crazy, bro.
Because you remember in the last live, I was talking about that. Like, I feel like Drake was also on that frontier of that's why Tailor Made was done in the way it was done. That was about pushing in AI. And I also think a lot of those Kendrick and Drake songs that were getting leaked that was gonna fuck up the battle at the beginning, that was a part of the AI push. If people would have attached themselves to those songs, like the fans, and be like, dang, I couldn't tell, that would have been damaging for hip hop because they would have started to go they would have started to more aggressively push the AI stuff. But since we didn't fuck with it because we could tell, they put it on the back burner.
Do you remember that AI album that came out, that AI Drake album that came out that everybody was talking about?
Yeah, some of them songs were slaps.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Some of them shits was fire. But do you think he had something to do with that too?
I wouldn't be surprised now.
Because if I'm not mistaken, it's still up on YouTube. If I'm not mistaken, like I think if it was something like a breach of contract or something, that would have been taken down already. I think it's still up.
The one thing I will say is if the leak doesn't get caught, and also there's no copyright to infringe on that because it's AI. So if I'm correct in what I'm saying, there's no copyright to infringe unless UMG owns the rights to his voice. But if the music that's actually being placed on there isn't owned by any label, the label doesn't, in essence, wouldn't have the ability to take it down. Which is crazy. And shout out to Zelda. Guess we need to start buying CDs and going to concerts again, streaming music. I've been preaching this for a long time. It's like 100 vinyl in this room. I haven't really been buying CDs, but we have to start investing in physical music again. We have to. We have to, because the whole concept of streaming, and I don't know if that's what it started off as, but this entire thing is starting to go to automation.
Yeah.
Like, and that's just America and just production in general. Like the assembly line, what's in the Henry Ford?
Yeah.
Like that made building car, that revolutionized car manufacturing. So eventually it's going to get to automation. That's going to be the end goal as long as everything stays digitized. So we have to buy physicals because that will incentivize the label to produce physicals as well. So we got to do it, man. We got to do it because that helps the artists. At least, at the very least, they're able to quantify that better than they can quantify streams. And at the most, it gives artists confidence to, if they finish their deal and they decide to go direct to consumer, they know people are still willing to buy physical copies of music.
I ain't gonna lie though, bro. If we do go back to that model, right? We got physical CDs. Y'all need to make something where when I listen to it on my CD player, bro, make sure my shit don't skip, bro. I remember going to in high school when I was playing football on the bus ride to the game, bumping Young Jeezy. As soon as I hit a bump,
wow,
like that shit crazy. I don't want to go into that shit. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Shout out to Gen X Gemini. This is depressing. I got to make you a moderator too. We not giving out, but we need a few more moderators. This has nothing to do with this chat, but we do need a few more moderators. Gen X Gemini, if you're up to the task, I want to make you and a couple people moderators. But she said the death clause gives the rights to the artist's image and voice to the label. Now you say death clause. Do you mean like once they die? Because I wouldn't be surprised about that. Like once they die, everything reverts to the label. That's crazy. That's actually crazy. Let me see. Christo Davis says Lupe Big Homie was chilly and gets locked up and things slowly start to go downhill. Top is Kendrick Big Homie, and look what he has done with TDE. That is the intricate detail. Yeah, sometimes you be needing that person to keep you. Shout out to Miss Mia. Okay, I'm gonna keep note of, because I'm gonna keep note of you, Gen X Gemini, Shout out to Ozu. I think I'm gonna make him one too. Shout out to is this my or me? Okay, so it is after they die. Okay, I got you. And it's a shame what they doing to Juice World. It's a shame what they doing to his catalog after he passed. But like she said, like that death clause, like they get the ability to do whatever they want to.
Wait a minute, so that means that they can create AI music after they pass with the likeness, just keep dropping shit?
If they own his voice and his image and likeness, they very well could.
And the family get nothing off of that, bro. That's crazy, bro. I don't think they would.
That would be interesting. Like, cause let's say they like if let's say he had 3 albums left on his deal, right?
Yeah.
And he passed. I don't know how that goes, but let's say perfect world. Because I don't know about the label contracts and stuff.
Yeah.
Let's say perfect world, he passed and he had 3 albums left, and they did 3 posthumous albums, right?
Yeah.
And then they satisfied the contract and the family stopped getting paid. And then after that, they start pumping out AI content that the family doesn't get paid for. That's insane, bro. But I'm pretty sure the family stopped getting paid when he passed. I'm pretty sure they stopped getting paid when he passed. And less money goes to the estate. It's like having insurance and dying on the job. Shout out to Ozu. That's crazy, bro. That's insane. Let me see. I hope artists, shout out to L Brown for the super chat. I hope artists will fight for federal policies to curb AI. I do too, but artists seem like they too scared to do like the SAG-AFTRA strike. Because I don't know what the case is, but artists have to get to the point where they're willing to fight for it. There's huge artists out here that can help spearhead that, but I think some of them are getting paid well enough to where they aren't necessarily incentivized to do it. Like Taylor Swift, she was able to find a way to make it advantageous for her. She was able to re-record her old stuff. But like, imagine if she said, I'm doing a call for all pop artists and all of the biggest pop artists and rap artists and country artists, and we not dropping again until we get a collective bargaining or some type of widespread uniform negotiation with the labels.
They'll lose some. Well, not
go ahead,
the artists, but
go ahead, DJ. I'm finna do something real quick. I need to get these people some wrenches real quick. Go ahead.
But yeah, I think the label do everything in their power to stop that for sure. Because if you're not pumping out and making new music, then they losing their bottom line, I feel. So it'll take a lot for it to get to that point. But for the most part, with the little control that artists have, I don't think they are ready to fully go down the sacrificial path and, you know what I'm saying, go against the system like that. That's why everybody's trying to make Drake into such a martyr about his situation, talking about he going against the machine and this and that. And I'm just like, look, even if Drake has a valid reason or valid grievance with UMG, even if that's the case, the perception of everything that he's done throughout his career, especially the perception of everything post or during the beef and post beef, does not make these petitions any type of like genuine like type of like situation. It doesn't. It's all, you know what I'm saying, advantageous to him and him alone. Only it's not anything to help any other artist. It's just so for him to be able to, you know, soothe his ego, fix his pride, because he don't like the fact that, you know, basically all of hip hop they turned against him at this point. And so I really wish people stop trying to make him into this martyr that he's not. It's really pissing me off. And with all the shit with AI, the fact that he was trying to be at the, well, I'm not gonna say this true because this is only like rumors or like theories and stuff. But the fact that it seems like he was at the forefront of this AI movement and shit, that just lets me know like he's only in it for himself. He's not trying to help the betterment of his artists or anything like that. It's all about him at the end of the day. And that's why I feel so it's kind of weird that he dropped this Fighting Irish Freestyle
Mm.
now, because as far as like the perception, like what does that do for you now, other than maybe trying to test the waters to see that people want to hear you rap? Like outside of that, this what you rapped about in that song does absolutely no type of justice to your image. If anything, it makes it worse. So I don't understand the angle with this coming out, because it's clearly old. Like if you see the
Yeah.
video, he still got his
Got
braids
braids.
in.
Yeah.
So it's clearly something he recorded or did it like at some point throughout, the year last year. It just never dropped, which is kind of weird, because that right there is something that people would have wanted to hear at least back then, but definitely not now. Like if you not, I don't want to hear Drake take any more subs at Kendrick. Like at this point, I don't feel as though you can stay in this fight and throw subs and not throw any direct shots anymore at this point. If it's not direct at Kendrick, I don't want to hear that shit, bro. Get over it. Stop with the victim mindset. People are not gonna come to your defense like that. Let that shit go. Move the hell on, bro. But you still saying in this victim mindset, throwing shots still, it's stupid. It's ridiculous. Like, let it go.
Yeah. Real quick, I want to give a special shout out to Miss Mia, Gen X, Gemini, Slade, and Ozu. That is our collective of mods at this time. Shout out to them. I saw people shouting them out in the chat, so I did just want to make sure that I did that as well. And Ozu dubbed it the mod squad. Yo, back on this Drake shit, man. Before we did. Okay, let me plug Patreon real quick and YouTube members. If you have not and you want exclusive We Are Decipher content, join the YouTube members or join our Patreon. And if you are a mod and have the ability, please put that in the chat for the people who would like to click that link and become a decoder. But I was listening to the Fighting Irish Freestyle over and over before we got ready to do our Decipher Road to 100 episodes before we came on. But yeah, man, like Drake is such a fucking victim, man. Like he's playing that victim role so much, bro. Like even down to him filing the pre-action petition about defamation. Like he's literally suing UMG for them letting him quote unquote say bad, let Kendrick say bad things about him. When 30 minutes before that song came out, Drake was calling Kendrick's wife, calling her a hoe, calling Kendrick a domestic abuser, saying that Whitney had a child that wasn't Kendrick's with Dave Free. Like, is that not defamation?
Yeah.
If you have no proof of that, that is literally by definition defamation of character. So for him to file a lawsuit when he just did the exact same thing is literally insane and just shows his lack of the willingness to take accountability and using that only as a method to get back at UMG because he felt like he was the golden child.
Yeah.
Exactly. And Moni said, oh yeah, let me read this super chat real quick. Cam said, shout out to Cam for the super chat. I wish Drake would go away for a long while. I feel like it would be in his best interest. Like after Not Like Us came out, he should have disappeared from that point forward because there's nothing he could have did. Because once the pop out was announced, we already knew it was time to dance on the quote unquote grave of Drake. Even though that wasn't what that was for, hip hop fans saw it as that, right?
Yeah.
He should have been gone from the pop out to at least the top of this year going into the second quarter of this year. And then if he pops out with a song like No Face, I think it's received differently. You feel what I'm saying? But everything that he's done in between the release of Not Like Us, the release of The Hard Part 6 up to now has only made him look worse because he also tries to say things where he comes across as an aggressor and then turns around and drops a song like this where he's somehow the victim and then takes shots threatening to damage other people's quote unquote public images because they made him feel away.
Hey, real quick, I see a comment from V Conley. He said, and then Drake leaked the information. How you mad that the stuff you leaked actually being effective against you? Now, when it when it comes to that, I think what he's talking about is the whole angle about him having a daughter.
But he
Like,
also said, "Hey, call me, say something about young girls. That's a gift from me." But saying it from the perspective of Tupac, he told
yeah.
Kendrick to call him
Oh yeah, you're right.
he
You're right.
told Kendrick
You're
to
right.
call him a
I
PDF
forgot
too.
about that. Yeah,
But bro, I don't know if you remember much like lyrically from Fighting Irish Freestyle,
I
but
do.
like he said on one part, because the whole thing about the Kendrick thing is just weird to me.
Yeah,
But he said, "I don't have a drinking problem. I
I
just
have
have
subtle additions.
a subtle addiction."
Yeah,
My nigga, that's a habit. You got a problem. Any
yeah.
addiction is a problem, bro. And then he was trying to make it seem like like his daddy being black has any real bearing on what Kendrick was getting across in the music. He never once attacked your blackness from that perspective. He never said you weren't genetically black. He said you weren't a proponent of the culture. And that just further tells me that Drake still doesn't really understand what Kendrick was saying.
Mm-hmm.
Because not only in the Hard Part 6 did you completely and utterly misunderstand Mother I Sober, and then shoot at Kendrick as to attempt to make fun of him for being a victim of the M word. You know what I mean? You
Mm-hmm.
attempted to victimize him of being no, you attempted to attack him as being a victim, like to put that on his jacket. So it's just crazy. And then, you know what I'm saying, he shot at LeBron, and then he said something that shout out to Justin Hunt. He said in the video, he said that it was a body double and we've done dozens of switches.
Switches. Yeah,
Um, hold on. I just got a message. I
I'm
just got
pulling
a
up.
message. I didn't see it. But somebody said that Dissect was in the chat. Shout out to Dissect Podcast. I did not see that. Oh, I do see it. I can't find it right now, but definitely shout out to Dissect Podcast. It's one of the reasons I have gotten into this the way I have. So definitely shout out to them. And hopefully we can get a collaboration with them sometime in the future. But what was I saying? About the Drake thing. Okay. Justin Hunt said, and once again, shout out to Justin Hunt, the company man. Great voice in this space. But he was saying that is Drake attempting to out LeBron James for nefarious joint activities, which would, of course, ruin his public image.
Yeah.
That's insane. Like, not only from Drake being willing to say it, but
Mm-hmm.
also from LeBron running around with this type of, like, from nothing was the same. How do you rock with somebody like Drake and do missions when he telling on every girl that he's ever been involved with?
Mm-hmm.
Like, he got one of the girls ran up out of Hooters on Peachtree. Like, she couldn't even have her job because Drake outed her like that. And that's who you running around doing missions with, if that's the case? Like how? Like, if I'm LeBron, I'm almost daring him to say it. Because at this point, Drake's reputation is so muddy. Even if it did happen, it ain't gonna go the way Drake wanted to, because his reputation is in the trash.
Yeah, he's
Is
so
this a Drake
low in
fan? Hold on. Is this a Drake fan channel? Come on, Imperial Stats. No, it's not a Drake fan channel, bro. And if that's what you came for, you're gonna be sadly mistaken.
Yeah.
Because that ain't even how we give it up. This is a hip-hop fan channel, first and foremost. And if that's what you wanted a little conversation, cool, you got it. Go ahead, DJ.
With his reputation being so muddy the way it is, like, you doing this ain't nothing but further proving the point that everyone has about you. I just don't understand it. And for you to, first of all, nigga, this is rap. It's supposed to be rap. For you to direct your attentions from Kendrick to LeBron James and make a diss song to LeBron James, to somebody who you know ain't gonna rap back to you, like, come on, bro. Like, let's just be real. Like, that's some sucker shit. The more I listen to this song, that is some sucker ass bullshit. Regardless of how good Drake is actually rapping in terms of the flow on the song, because he actually is rapping pretty good on the song. What you're rapping about takes away from your talent in this moment. Like, because you doing real sucker shit, bro. Like why? And in another part of the song I don't like is the whole line about empires crumbling from judge
Yeah.
conviction.
So
Like,
what are you
bro, are you
saying, Drake? Are you saying that? Are you saying you're gonna snitch?
like,
So
bro, are
that's the
you?
thing. It's like, are you snitching again?
Yeah, like, are you taunting UMG? Like, because that I feel that's a double to not only Kendrick but definitely UMG. Like, come on, bro. Like,
I
what's
took that as a
going
LeBron
on?
shot. I took that as a LeBron shot.
Well, it could be a triple. That's
Because
a
think
triple.
about it,
Then,
like when you get a divorce, right?
yeah,
That is in essence the destruction of an empire because it starts to change how people view you, and that's coming off the back of him talking about ruining his public image,
yeah,
him potentially being LeBron, and then saying that I would hate to see the empire fall due to some court stuff. And it's just like, oh my God, bro, like you willing to go that far and destroy everything LeBron has worked for because he was dancing at a rap concert.
let's see.
That is insane, bro. Then he was like, he said, I don't have a direct post, but he said something to the effect of, I gave you a cold shoulder in the Hamptons.
Yeah. Oh, that's shit I wanted. Another thing I wanted to address. So yeah, he said, because I got the lyrics right here. Let me go right here.
Oh yeah, let me do it. My bad.
I guess now you boys gotta abandon your summer traditions. Cold shoulders I gave in the Hamptons. It come with the distance. That shit right there, it brought back in the mindset because the Hamptons is where they do the white party at. And last year when they were doing all the memes and stuff about Drake face, looking all sad and aged out. I'm like, bro, is Drake really going around here to these public functions, public parties, moping? Is that what this nigga doing? Also, bro, stay your ass at home, bro. What are you doing?
Saying, like his filler or something was like falling. Like when it's time for it to get swapped out, it started to sink like that. But shout out to is it Adia Moore for the super chat. I'm new here and you guys are amazing. I love your live conversations. Keep rising, gentlemen. Much appreciated.
Thank you.
Let me read this line. He say, the world fell in love with the gimmicks. Even my brother got tickets. Seemed like they loved every minute. Just know this shit is personal to us. It wasn't just business. Analyzing behavior problems is somewhat suspicious. The analyzing behavior problems or the analyzing behavior patterns part, I took that as a shot at Kendrick. And I say that because of what Kendrick did in Meet the Grams. Mm-hmm. Exactly. So you telling me that nobody can, like, he's so oblivious and so unfamiliar with being discussed as far as being given criticism on any level that he thinks it's weird for somebody to do it.
Yeah.
Like, nah, bro, you can't be looking into my life telling me stuff that you can't be analyzing my behavior. Like, Drake, who do you think you are, bro?
But yeah, you can look into my family dynamic and basically out that one of my children or even both of my children may not be mine.
And talk about the whole Kendrick's underlying desire to be a part of white America and all of this other stuff. It's just crazy. So it's just so wild and childish, the perspectives that he come from. But let's continue to go through this real quick. Niggas was never happy for me. I done run up the digits.
Which is
when I'm breaking world records as I guzzle a Guinness. I did like that bar. I did like that. The Guinness World Records.
I don't give a fuck, bro. This nigga said niggas was never happy for me when I ran up the digits. Nigga, you've been at the top of the charts. You've been the #1 face of hip hop for at least 15 years now.
Yeah, Drake was celebrated for a long time.
Bro, you've been celebrated constantly. If anything, you've been coddled, if anything, for the longest time. The nerve of you to say the one instance, and I say this during the beat, the one time when the machine don't work in your favor, now it's woe is me, and don't nobody love me, don't nobody respect me. What the, like, come on,
he's
bro.
An entitled ass little kid. Like, cause just think about it. Anytime you chastise your kid or you give your kid discipline, why are you always so mean to me? Excuse me?
Oh my
God. I just bought you a $500 toy and you gonna tell me I never do anything for you? look at all the rappers that still lying around from Christmas, and you talking about I ain't do nothing for you. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what Drake sounds like. He sounds like an entitled, self-absorbed child who is unable to even spell accountability. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like
Yeah.
nobody was happy for me, but that also could be tied to a very true part of his journey through hip hop, being that he never felt like he truly got his acceptance within rap from the legends and the OGs and like just the hip hop culture aspect of it. Like he never won them over. You feel me? It's like I
So
think a
like,
lot of people, he felt like a lot of people accepted him and gave him props because of how huge he got, but not necessarily like, yeah, Drake is the figurehead of hip hop culture, as opposed to
yeah.
Drake is just one of the biggest artists in music.
So kind of like how Kendrick was basically they passed the torch to him as the
Yeah.
leader of the West. Drake feels though he never got a type of
No,
symbolic gesture like that.
no. Because he was all up, he had his nose so far up Joe Budden ass, like trying to rap like Joe Budden and holding all this acclaim to Joe Budden. And like people like Joe Budden, those type of rappers never really accepted Drake.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the hip hop of the hip hop rappers, they never really accepted Drake like that. And I think that always stuck with him. But for all of the affinity that Drake has for old school traditional hip hop, and he does have some of it in his music, because even in this song, like that's old school rap, like being able to stick with one rhyme scheme for an entire song. And that is to be commended, like as far as his technical rap skill. But it's like, what are you saying though? And that's why
Yeah.
I want to keep going with this.
Yeah.
Shout out to the 400 people in the chat. Get the
Yeah.
likes up. I see somebody talking about that. Yeah, man. If you in here watching and you got an active YouTube account, hit the like button. And if you
Mhm.
really rock with us, share the chat. But he said, or when I get my fifth Maybach because the color is different. We don't care about that, Drake.
Yeah.
Maybe we trade. Remember, we traded watches. I gave you that Arabic dial. You gave me a numbered edition. You and blah 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 blah. I don't want to talk about this part because he's just like, okay, he trying to set up somebody who he had a friendly relationship with, and they was exchanging rich nigga gifts. It's like, okay, rich niggas exchange gifts. Like whatever. But he said, show me how different you are. There's blessings in juxtaposition. I thought that was fine. And he said, I guess now you boys got to abandon your summer tradition. Cold shoulders I gave in the Hamptons, it come with a distance. I figured we was always going to be close like ovens and kitchens. I was sadly mistaken. The loyalty wasn't a given. Then he can get ready to go into the second verse. So
Yeah.
he's coming from the perspective of everybody just did something to him. Like
Yeah.
Drake did nothing to
Mm-hmm.
cause the separation, when the whole time we've all been, even Drake fans, like with the Kendrick and the Pusha T disses, the main thing that Drake fans will say is y'all didn't tell us nothing we didn't know already.
Yeah.
And if you knew that already, imagine what the people actually close to Drake knew, or people that he felt like was close to him, and all the microaggressions and other stuff he did, going behind people back, trying to get folks girls, like the thing
Yeah.
he did with Metro that Metro wouldn't even say
Mm-hmm.
about disregarding the passing of his mother to get a beat. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Just stuff like that. Eventually people are going to take arms against you, bro. Like, and
Yeah.
Kendrick, in addition to Future and Metro, like spearheaded it, but Kendrick was apparently the flag bearer, you know, for people expressing their disdain with who you are and what you've been doing. And also some of these
Yeah.
niggas just win your friends like you think they was.
Yeah.
And if they
Yes.
really
Yes.
were, you would have treated them in kind, bro. You wouldn't be so
Yes.
surprised because y'all would have been tight enough to actually have a connection that a rap beef when they got in the way of.
And then two things real quick. Yeah, that was one of the main ones. Like Drake gotta realize that everybody who's smiling your face and dap you up, them niggas, everybody's not your friend, bro. Like you gotta have levels. And for someone who's to be as introspective as he feels though he is, the fact that you don't realize that is insanity to me. And another thing too about your point about the him following in the footsteps of like Joe Budden and wanting to claim for those type people, I feel so the reason why he never got that is because when the whole ghostwriting shit came out, the allegations about that and the song references and you using all these things, like people know these things behind the scenes. And before Meek said it, that wasn't the first time that came up in his career. Like as far as him getting help, like that's how we knew about the whole weekend thing, and with Take Care. Like that wasn't the first time that came up, but it just wasn't really magnified on a rap scale until the whole back and forth with Meek, because we actually seen who the person was. For the most part, ghostwriters are in fact that they're ghosts. You don't see them. You don't know who they are. You don't know that they did this shit. But the fact that Quentin Miller actually came forward and confirmed a lot of these things, and we was able to confirm who he is and his connection to Drake, that just blew the whole top off of everything. And the real hip hop purists who write their music and things like that, they not gonna jet that. They not gonna truly respect that. Like they always give Drake that asterisk by his name because of that. And then the fact that he kept on doing this shit after the fact, like I can see if he learned his lesson or he just stopped getting that kind of help. You know what I'm saying? After the whole Meek Mill shit, then I could say, all right, cool, Drake, you got it. You learned your lesson. Let's just see what you can do from here. But no, after that, all on Scorpion, he got fucking reference tracks from Vori and Friday and all these other people. You got on the Dark Lane demo tapes, it's references from Vori and Friday on that shit. You got CLB, reference tracks from Yachty. Her Loss, reference tracks from Yachty. Like, he didn't stop doing this shit. So that lets me know that this is inherently who he is. Like, he cannot do this shit alone. And it also really just makes me question his true talent, his true ability. Like, granted.
And also, not to cut you off, because one point that you haven't mentioned yet is his true reverence for hip hop. Mm-hmm. And I think that's why a lot of the OGs haven't attached themselves to the concept of championing him, because he hasn't, like, because granted, like, he has talent and he's able to create hip hop songs, but where's Drake's universally accepted hip hop album though? Mm-hmm. Where's his rap, like what they call it, where's his magnum opus, like for rap? Like, where's his Illmatic? Where's his Doggy Style shit? Where's his Equimini? Like, where's his album that like helped shape the genre, like rap wise? Like, a lot of his biggest songs are songs that like escape the genre, like One Dance and Hotline Bling and stuff like that. The song he did with Rihanna, I can't remember.
What's My Name?
No. Another one. Fuck, I can't remember. But anyway, the point I'm making is a lot of his hugest songs are not rap songs. So it's like, is he really upholding the culture if his biggest hits aren't rap hits and he doesn't have an album where he's at least rapping 80% of the time?
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? So like, I just think he never really like championed hip hop in the way that he should either. He came in as a hip hop artist, got big, deprioritized hip hop in exchange for a bigger, broader fan base. And now you mad that the culture not fucking with you for real because you didn't really uphold the culture. And here go Kendrick the whole time been taking the long road with hip hop on his back, culture on his back, the real art on his back. You feel what I'm saying? So when it's time for y'all to clash, he threw all of that in your face and you didn't know how to respond to it. And now you mad because the culture caught up with the commerce part of it. And now UMG not messing with you as much because Kendrick got you out the paint. And I want to read this super chat from Miss Mia. She said, Aubrey, big mad at several grown men who names, faces, and likeness he has tatted on his body is nasty work. That is crazy. I didn't see the video, but I think I saw some, I don't know if it was on Chilling with Moni channel. I think it was. It looked like Drake was lying on his stomach with a tattoo of LeBron on his back, like around his rib or something. I'm like, bruh.
You got LeBron tatted on you. It's insane.
These are regular men. Like, your attachment to them is unhealthy. And I think that's why he's so hurt, because he liked them. His attachment, infatuation, and fixation with these other men.
Yeah. Which is crazy when you say it like crazy. That.
Yeah, that's why I had to laugh, because it's like his attachment to them is so unhealthy, and that's why he's so disappointed. Because he like, bro, like, I love y'all. Like, I had y'all on my wall. I got y'all tatted on my body. And LeBron like, bro, chill.
Yeah, like,
I thought this was rap. You lost the rap battle. You lost the fade, bro. You mad at me? Because like, I like Kendrick. I've been liking Kendrick, bro. Like I like
Yeah,
both of y'all, but y'all had a squabble. You lost the fade clearly, and now
yeah,
you mad because like I like Kendrick's music. Come on, bro. Like now you talking about I'm gonna give you the cold shoulder. And when I heard that, I immediately thought about when him and Chubbs was staring at DeMar like at the
mhm,
Raptors game. If
yeah,
that's the aggression that we getting from you, Drake, we cool. We gonna act like you
yeah,
don't exist, bro. Like
yeah.
don't nobody care about that, bro. Like you, whatever image you trying to project, it just doesn't come across in real life, bro.
Like the bro, if he's really going around to these parties, moping, trying to gain sympathy for people to say, "Oh, Drake, are you okay? You want to talk about it?" If that's what this nigga want, this nigga is insane, bro. He will never get the respect that he want. He'll never get that shit at all, bro. Like, ain't no way the grown ass man going around moping like that. Like,
He
stop it.
like that kid at school that he like that kid at school that's like not talking. Yeah, exactly. Like everybody coming around, you okay? I don't want to talk about it.
About it, I
And then
don't
we
want to
finally
talk
start
about it.
talking. Like, bro, you want attention that bad that now you gotta pretend to be the person that nobody likes. Drake, folks was cool with you, bro. You
Dude,
blew
yeah,
that. Ain't nobody
yes,
tell you to get on wax and say you rapping like you trying to get the slaves free. Ain't nobody tell you to do that. Ain't nobody tell you to completely sidestep rap because you wanted to make unts music. Ain't that what you called it, DJ?
Oos, oos,
Yeah,
oos,
ain't nobody tell you
oos,
to do
oos.
that. Like, ain't nobody tell you to bring that man name. I mean, bring that man wife name up in a beef, not once but twice, being Pusha and Kendrick, and get completely obliterated and then violate all the rules to hip hop. Like
Yeah,
nobody told you to do that. Nobody told you to have ghostwriters. Nobody told you to go to Funk Flex without a memorized freestyle. Nobody told you to do these things. You've
yeah.
been you've been disrespecting hip hop your whole career.
Mhm.
And Kendrick came up and was the embodiment of all the things that's right in hip hop and beat your ass with all of that power. That's why you looking crazy because now the
Yeah.
culture really has to accept the fact that you ain't been hip hop this whole time.
Mhm.
You just been the biggest artist that was in hip hop because of stuff that
Whatever.
we really shouldn't count as a part of hip hop.
And I'm just gonna be real, bro. And I got my things how I feel about Wayne. But Wayne is really the one that gave you the cosign that you needed to get on the main stage. And the fact that Wayne don't even go to your defense, he don't vouch for you, he don't say nothing about you, is very telling to me, bro. I'm sorry. I 100% feel that way. But I think this goes back to what we were saying on the other one. Like, they just not really as close as we thought they were, bro. They don't really rock like that. This is a
Yeah.
business,
They've
clearly.
been falling out slowly but surely since nothing was the same. If you
Yeah,
go back and listen to Tuscan Leather, he been talking about trying to get free of Cash Money, Young Money for a decade. And it's
and if
been,
you
if you've
notice,
been really listening to what he been saying, he been telling the story a long time ago.
and when you go to each one of his projects, you get less and less Young Money influence, Young
Mhm.
Money features. Like for a long time, you can have a song without Drake and Wayne on it together. Now that shit is a dime in the desert. You can't find that
Yeah,
shit nowhere, bro, at all. Cut the censor rapper back in his pajama clothes. Ha ha! Jokes on
jokes
you.
on.
High five. I'm bulletproof.
Man,
Your shots will never penetrate. Hit the
nobody
tail of the
told Drake
donkey, boy.
Daddy
You been a fake.
to be rocking Steve Harvey monkey suits, and nobody told Drake to parade him around in them either. Let me see. It's crazy. Yeah, despite all his accolades, he's so desperate for acknowledgement because numbers don't mean what we think they mean.
Yeah.
Like, okay, one thing I was talking about this earlier today. A lot of Drake fans feel like Drake is the best because he streams the most and he has a lot of the accolades, right? So when the beef happened and the beef ended and Not Like Us started to hit all of these milestones, people was like, oh, I thought the numbers didn't matter. They don't. We
Mhm.
only saying it because if that's y'all argument this whole time, numbers, 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 when Kendrick is starting to get numbers and combat Drake in that space, now we're realizing that we have no longer a need for him really. Because every metric Kendrick has hit it. He already hit all the artistic metrics. So now if he getting you out of the way numbers wise, he's really the best. And it's no way to get around it now because y'all
Mhm.
argument was always numbers. And Drake would say numbers, but deep down, he felt like he needed that validation from actual hip hop. those, like he said in the pre-action petition, numbers can be boosted and manipulated to fit a narrative. And if that's the case, Drake has an understanding, whether he wants to admit it or not, that some of his success could have very well been bolstered up by UMG to make him appear bigger than he was.
That's the part that really pisses me off, when people they won't acknowledge that simple concept that you really think Drake did not benefit from the same things he's accusing Kendrick of is insane to me. Like, ain't no way you be at the top that long and had a machine behind you the way you've had it and not get some type of help. I'm sorry. Like, it just, and that's why I feel as though he does the petition, because he feels as though he knows from his side of things that he could probably get the truth out there. But even if the truth does get out there, that's only going to make you look worse. That's going to knock down all the accomplishments that you garnered over the years. All your accolades are going to mean nothing, because people aren't going to even respect the numbers for it anymore, because we're going to think it's boosted. So that's why I don't think this petition is going to go the way he thinks it's going to go if it actually does go to trial. And I just don't think, I just think it's pointless. I don't think it's something he should have did publicly. You should have just gone ahead, did your little albums, got out your deal, then talk your shit after. But as long as you still trying to renegotiate with UMG, trying to get them like more money out of them, and you want that influence, like, you can't talk the shit that you talking, bro. You just can't.
Okay, let's get back to this verse real quick, and then we'll see what the chat want to talk about going forward. We'll let the chat kind of drive the conversation after we finish this.
Andrew
said, verse 2, and niggas cried the blues for you, saying it wasn't malicious, talking about we family. Well, I'm not the cousin to visit. God forbid we ever got to tarnish your public image. All that brother talk as if I really discovered a sibling. And this was a part of him talking about, I think this was him introducing LeBron, and people saying that he didn't mean nothing by going to the pop out and all of that stuff. And now we're not brothers anymore. Like, Drake, y'all, we're never brothers to begin with. Does LeBron have a Drake tattoo? If so, I ain't seen it.
No. I'm 99.9% positive that LeBron ain't got no Drake tattoo. So
like, I think people get around Drake and realize he a clout chaser and he looking for friends desperately. And it's just like, yeah, Drake cool, but like the image of Drake is cool, but like actually getting around him, you realize like how empty, shallow, and surface level he really is. And then he probably called LeBron on FaceTime, was like, hey, bro, check it out. I got you on my back. We link forever, bro. And LeBron like, yeah, bro, that's crazy, bro. I gotta go put some shots up. I'm gonna hit you back. Like, cause that's weird, bro. Like, DJ, you my dog, but if you ever call me talking about you got a tattoo of me on your back, bro, I ain't calling you back, bro. Unless I'm calling you back to tell you how crazy you looking, you better get that covered up. Like, I don't know if we can be cool, like, cause that's just weird. Cause it gives, and somebody said in the chat earlier, like, it just gives only child, like, you never had that real connection with a peer to that extent. So now people that you idolize, the fact that they're semi-accessible to you, like, you're taking that as if they see a value in you deeper than the image you project. It's good over here, bro. Let us know if the chat is good. I don't think it's I don't think we having no issues. But let's see though. Press like, period, but also put ones in the chat if everything is going good as far as the chat. DJ said he got an issue. Okay, we straight.
Okay.
Aretha M said that's such a huge lesson as an only child. Okay, all right, we just got a bunch of them came in. Let me read this from Andrew Franks, one of our OG decoders on Patreon. He said Wayne never even got his back during the beef and he's mad at LeBron.
Yeah,
because I think Drake's so fake from the perspective of, I think just the public perception of LeBron favoring Kendrick. Drake is mad at that.
Yeah,
because that just hurts the years and years of like corporate connections and front facing imagery that Drake has been working for.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's where the connection with Cam came from, the connection with Jim Jones, like Mason, Gilly, even like creators like What's the Dirt, Aiden Ross, academics. It was all to like make it seem like he had this big reinforced wall or circle of trust. You know what I mean? But it was just really like people to help him look good.
Mm-hmm.
And now that veil is being revealed. It's like, yeah, him and DeMar was quote unquote cool, but like him and DeMar and Kendrick like grew up together. You feel what I'm saying? Like, so it's different. And I think just the real won out in this battle. That's what I'm trying to get to. So do we need to go through the rest of this? Because it's like he was talking about when the dude got shot, that had nothing to do with the beef that he had with Kendrick. I hated people tried to position it as that.
Mm-hmm.
The rumor was, shout out to my bad, Fire Talk TV just became a member. Shout out to him. Put some W's in the chat for him. That had nothing to do with Kendrick. Rumor is that was some isolated Toronto on Toronto.
I thought that was some.
Violence.
I thought that was some
I don't
shit.
I don't know. I can't confirm, but I do know that the issue rooted from something Toronto related. I don't know where it came from, but that was like inter-city issues, and that's why I'm assuming came to Texas and left Canada.
Yeah,
because it was probably getting too out there.
And that's, like you said, I don't like the fact that people are putting that on Kendrick, like that's Kendrick's fault, or that's some kid. Kendrick has shit to do with that. Like, why would he need to do that shit?
And I don't like how Drake was trying to parse it and put it in the middle, like, yeah, that's the reason I backed out. No, you backed out because you was get your ass beat in the middle of the street for all to see. This is like when on New Jack City, Ice-T was beating the brakes off Nino Brown in the streets after he drug him out his house and beat his ass down the stairs. So it's just like, it was no avoiding it. You didn't back out because something happened that was outside of your control, other than Kendrick powering up and beating your ass within an inch of your life in your rap form. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it was nothing more for you to do.
Bro, if
I don't want to dish you anymore, the fart part 6.
That body double line would be so much harder if he just would have went away, came back on just on regular, on just want to make music and just get the shit out there and it pop off. That line would hit so much crazy, like the whole body double. We switched a dozen of times. Like, this still the same crash double that we looking at clearly right now. Yeah, you ain't giving this shit up. And
he still like think he's some type of Jimmy Hoffa mob boss type shit. Like, y'all thought y'all killed me, but that wasn't even my real body. Drake,
like,
we
bro,
saw it was on fire.
Bro, this ain't anime. This is not the MCU. The whole, if you don't see the body, they ain't dead. This ain't that, nigga. We saw your body get cremated with Meet the Grams, and then it got stumped on with Not Like Us. Okay, we saw that. Everybody saw it. That's why you hurt now, because you know we saw it and you embarrassed.
He lost that bad too. He lost it bad, bro. Like, because the new thing is, Family Matters is aging better and better over time. It's like, bro, what Jay-Z said, moral victories is for minor league coaches. Like, bro, don't nobody care about that, bro. Like, he gave Kendrick 2.5 minutes in Family Matters. That was like an 8-minute song. Kendrick came right back with a 5-minute song and Meet the Grams. And Meet the Grams ended the battle for a lot of people. Like, the people who was listening for words, the battle ended with Meet the Grams.
Yeah.
The battle ended for everybody else the next day with Not Like Us. Bro, you lost bad. Like, the time concentrated on you from Kendrick was way more than the time you concentrated on him.
Because he had nothing to say to Kendrick. That's why
he could have tried, though. He could have tried. Like,
he didn't. He not as smart as we think he is, bro. He don't have that talent. Like, he don't have that talent to cultivate a whole thing versus one person. The most he ever did that to was Kanye. And even with Kanye, he was weaving in and out, dissing Pusha and taking shots at Jay-Z. So even with Kanye, it wasn't 100% focus on him. And I would think that you would have more to say about Kanye than you would about Kendrick. So I don't know, bro. He just them little 2.5 minutes is not gonna work, bro. It's not. Like, push-ups, you still talking about everybody else. Family Matters, you was talking about everybody else. Like, it It wasn't enough, bro. It just wasn't. Everybody keep on talking about the part where he was going to everybody else. That's the part that's aging well. But I'm like, that part don't matter. We don't care. That's the undercard. We talking about the main event when you got your ass knocked out. That's what we talking about.
And then Kendrick came back and stomped on you. And then he brought the West. He dropped the West back and stomped with. Hey, shout out to Hoodoo and Head Raps. From quoting something that I said in the Meet the Grams reaction. That was crazy. That was a wild night for me. I did a lot of shit I shouldn't have did that night. But shout out to Cam for the super chat as well. Kendrick humiliated Drake globally. And I think that's the thing too. I think he's having a very hard time grappling with the reality of this. So all he can do is lean on his fragile ego in this time.
Now, go ahead. Read
real quick. Sandis Chan, shout out to you for the super chat again. You've been showing us love. You are indeed one of the sponsors of today's live stream. Somebody needs to tell Drake that only his cat Crody has 9 lives. Like Drake, you were killed, bro. Exactly. Like, he took a crazy L, and I just think it's just so extreme. It's just hard to acknowledge, bro. Like, let's say somebody punched you, right? And then you woke up in a different part of the city. Like, he literally, like, he did something that was unheard of to him. And it's still reverberating, and it's not even over yet. He ain't went to the Grammys, nor has he done the Super Bowl yet. Mm-hmm. Even though it's not a diss, like the impact from it is still following into this. And when he stepped on that Super Bowl stage, before he goes on his nationwide stadium tour, like, it's all still going to hurt.
Yeah.
Like, because it's like Drake got to sit back because there's nothing he can do right now to stop what Kendrick is doing. And it's not like Kendrick is dragging what he's doing to Drake. He's just continuing to move and further his mission. Just keeping hip hop alive and being the flag bearer for not only the West Coast, but true hip hop in general. It ain't nothing Drake can do to combat that except drop half-assed voice note raps where he trying to make people feel bad for him. We don't care, bro. We don't care. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, let's get to the verse 3, because this is where I got the most of the shit I gotta say is coming in verse 3. He said, who's got the most to lose and who's in that other position? Signal conversations. Well, I hope they got double encryption. I hate to see the empire crumble on judge conventions. This nigga pull a rabbit out the hat. Y'all just love a magician. It's much shit they don't give it to Drake, bro. When he get in his petty bag, bro, Drake is fucking hilarious. I'm sorry, because that shit is funny. Like, this nigga pull a rabbit out the hat. Y'all just love a magician. It's fucking crazy. It's funny to see y'all all rejoicing, hugging, and kissing. What are we celebrating? I ran out the club, man.
He's a funny catty female, man. Like, don't get me wrong. I think beef aside, ass whooping aside, Drake is hilarious. Drake is funny, bro. Drake can rap. I just think reality, just the reality. He got his ass beat in this battle, right? We know that. Yeah. He got his ass beat. But Drake is funny. Drake got charisma. Drake can rap. Drake just don't respect the culture the way he should. And that was the lesson to learn here. You feel what I'm saying? Keep going. Yeah. Real quick. Shout out to Slade. Shout out to Slade, moderator in the chat. Been holding us down for months. I'm doing what COVID did. They'll never get over it. I 100% agree. I 100% agree. Go ahead.
Nothing was the same without you bitches, and nothing's forgiven. But next time, bury me in gold. My blood is Egyptian. The Dennis jeans come out when the vodka is flooding my system. I don't have a drinking problem. I have a subtle addiction.
What? That shit blew me, cuz I was like, what? What do you mean? And then, like, hey, when I tap into my nigga side, I tap into my nigga side when I get drunk.
Yeah.
What Drew said, DJ?
What you mean by that?
What you mean by that? You telling me when you get drunk, you turn into your dad? That is crazy, bro.
Yeah,
that's insane. Like, that's also kind of insulting, for real, for real. Like, bro, I get my most black when I'm drunk.
And then he said, I got my father's habits.
My subtle addiction. Yeah. And my mother's permission. Your mother told you not to say nigga, and you said it anyway.
Mm-hmm. My dad has another child. Crazy. I told him that wasn't my sister. Now, this is the part I actually wanted to address real quick. about this third verse with that line right there in particular. I've never heard about anything about Dennis having another child. That's never come up in any type of hip hop discourse about Drake. So this may be a reach. I'm gonna put this out there. Cast Stone's like, this could be a reach. But I'm like, is this nigga trying to like do a double and like rap from like Adonis perspective or something?
Couldn't possibly.
You not? Okay.
Because Drake, one thing about his rap style is he sets things up. So he wouldn't just drop a line like that and not set it up or give a payoff for us. I don't think so.
Okay. All right. They grew up with dozens of Jews, churches, and dozens of Christians. Also developed a deep respect for the Muslim religion. And I'm staring at my dad and y'all tell me I wasn't that nigga. Like, that's clearly all responses to Meet the Grams.
Yeah.
All responses.
Like, Drake, you saying that you grew up with all these Jews, Muslims, and Christians, we didn't see it. Like, it doesn't reflect in your music. Like, that's the thing. Like, Kendrick was attacking you being empty as far as the image you project. So if you saying like all of this stuff happened in private and none of it resonates in your music, that's the problem. That's why Meet the Grams hit so much, because it's like, bro, like you're really empty. And the only things that you're showing are problems that are deep rooted enough to destroy who you are, who you meant to be. Close the door, buddy. So like, hold on, gotta switch up pause. But yeah, man, it's just like, it's never able to extend himself enough to really unearth hurtful truths about himself and allow that to make his music better. You feel what I'm saying? So like when Kendrick started to unearth all of that stuff, like I feel like Drake feel like he's been caught off guard, because it's like, good night, buddy. Good night, sweetie. I feel like he feel like he's left alone, because he's like, bro, why didn't nobody else tell me this? Also, now all y'all got a problem with me. But it's like, no, bro, you've been so oblivious and unresponsive to the subtle signs that people have been trying to tell you your whole career. Now it hurts the most, because it's like a stranger basically had to tell you the stuff that your friends wouldn't even tell you. That's why he said it in Man at the Garden, telling truths better than your next of kin. Like, I got to tell you in a way that's going to hit you. And now you're in a lifelong battle with yourself, because now you really got to, if you really want to be better, you got to peel back all of those parts and have a true ego death to come out on the other side a better person. But shout out to Chilla with Mona. She said him still wanting to pretend Kendrick wasn't a formidable opponent with bars, accolades, and one of the best discographies in hip hop history. Say it loud. Is why he was spanked. Exactly. Yeah. Like, that's one of the 4-day laws of power, bro. You don't underestimate your enemy, bro. You do not do that. And it's like, it don't matter how much. And that's exactly what he did. And he was gonna lose anyway, because we already know Kendrick was better than him. But he probably wouldn't have got absolutely massacred the way he did if he would have treated Kendrick like the opponent that he really is.
Yeah. I think he would have been able to put together at least something a little bit more like long standing. But like I said, he literally had nothing to say to Kendrick. Like, I feel so all the subs he's done over the years, that's probably all that he got. And then when he actually got time to address it, you can't repeat the same subs that you've been doing. So what else? Okay, you're going to go and make up this narrative about Kendrick beating on his wife and his kids not being his and him being short. That's literally all he said. Push-ups with the same thing. Belly Mounds with the same thing. He said nothing else to Kendrick. Even in the Hard Part 6, he was saying the same shit. So I'm just like, yeah, this is over. It's the reason why you stopped. You don't have shit ready to go lined up. You don't, because you just keep repeating the same thing on 3 different songs. So
yeah,
the most creative he did do was on Tailor Made, and we don't respect that shit like that. Because that was probably the most creative in terms of bars and concepts, like actual content that directed at Kendrick. That was probably the most direct, and the Buried Alive interlude flip he did. That was probably the best thing out of this entire beat that he dropped, was that. If people remember what he said on that. But that was probably the best thing he did. And I'm just being real. Like it's better than Family Matters, better than Push Ups. That's probably the most direct thing that he said, and that don't even get acknowledged.
Somebody Drake got said, DJ, you skipped over the Dad Habits bar. Outing his half sister. No, we talked about that.
Yeah,
DJ
that's what I was
presented
talking about.
if it was possible that it was from the perspective of Adonis. But nah, I just think he was saying, I just think Drake was like, nah, I'm the kid. I'm the only child. I ain't got no siblings. And that just goes into all of this other stuff. It's like, yeah, bro, like you not having no siblings for real. You spent your life seeking that type of connection, and you tended to go after people that you idolize, in a sense, looking for something that they really couldn't give you, and acting out in ways that probably made them cringe and step away from you, you know. And when the rubber met the road, you realize that, like, yeah, bro, like y'all relationship probably fickle anyway, because not only have you never had those relationships, you have to have had those relationships to understand how to exist in them. So it's like, Drake, 9 times out of 10, you wouldn't even be a real friend to these people. So like, how you expect them to act except reciprocate the energy you giving them? But
I ain't gonna lie to you though. If I was Drake though, like just to be devil's advocate in some kind of way, for him to be at the, you know what I'm saying, the long standing that he's had for this long, and now to where he can't even drop music when he want to, you got to go about roundabout ways to sneak and drop shit just to get music out there. Like, I can see why he panicking, bro. Like, because like, what do you do at this point? Like, you literally have no control over what you can do. Like, the perception to the media and the world is a narrative that you can't shake off no time soon. You can't drop music to get away from the shit like you really, really want to. So, what do you do in this situation exactly, other than truly reflect on what's been said and try to make yourself better? If you're not trying to do that, then yeah, I can see why he just scrambling right now. He just doing dumb shit.
And I don't think he can't drop music. I just think there's so much weight on what he drops next, because he tried to do, like, they made him take the 3 songs from
100 gigs
and make them available for streaming, and neither one of them hit.
Yeah.
So like, his thing now is, if he's the numbers guy, he can't keep dropping shit that ain't gonna hit, right?
Yeah.
But he also can't leak it, because UMG is financially invested in him still. He's not indie. So anytime he tries to put something out outside of the UMG engine, they're gonna pull it off, because you can't release music that we're not connected to, because you are still contractually tied to us. So it's like, if you scared to drop music because you don't know if it's gonna hit or not, but you also want to get your thoughts out because you feel like you have you still want to do damage control in whatever way possible. You know what I'm saying? He tries that the other way. Of course, it still gets out, because it gets what do they call it? It gets aggregated across all of these different YouTube channels, and it ends up on social media. So it's still available, and I guess it meets it exercises the mean that he's trying to get to. So I mean, I guess it's kind of a win-win. It's like, okay, it don't have to go on streaming, but I can still get it out and people still gonna consume it. Because look at us, we talking about it right now, and we got 400 people in the chat, and it's much larger channels than us discussing this shit too. So
yeah,
I mean, it's at the end of the day, like, it's a means to an end. Like, and I think he's trying to slowly but surely get the fans back on his side, so then he can drop when he feels most comfortable. Because if that Party Next Door collab project was to drop tomorrow,
and
it's gonna be hard to project whether or not it's gonna do big numbers or not. But it's also like, bro, the culture just not fucking with you right now.
Yeah.
So if it's not a classic, people gonna shit on it just because it's fun to.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because it's people now who like standing on it like, Drake not hip hop no more.
Yeah.
Drake not of the culture no more. So if you standing on that, like, people not even gonna be willing to consume your music. So that's like certain reactors and certain people in hip hop media not gonna want to discuss your shit. So that's gonna hurt you too. But I think he has the wrong idea of what can make him look better PR wise, and he doing all the wrong shit. And that just shows what kind of principles he got for real.
Yeah. And just like if you just truly understood what was needed right now, you wouldn't be doing none of this shit, bro. You would be formulating a clear strategy and just getting out of the spotlight for a second. And you're not doing that. The people that's around you, they're terrible because clearly they're not protecting you. They're not guiding you on what you should be doing. They're clearly just allowing you to fucking crash and burn. Those people around you, they don't care about you, bro. They don't. They don't. They truly don't. And I just don't understand why he don't see that. It's just it's incredible. It's insane to me.
You
I
have
just
to
don't
go,
get it.
you have to, like I said, like you have to have had, you kind of gotta go through certain stuff to realize it. You know what I mean? Like you gotta go through that first heartbreak before you realize like what a relationship's supposed to be. You feel what I'm saying? So like
Yeah.
this is first time like having the type of people he wants to be around him. So like in that, you got to learn how to be a friend and receive friendship and give love and all this stuff. So he's learning all of this stuff in real time. And I think that's what's so confusing to him. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like he's already surface level as fuck anyway. So you put that on top of everything else that he got going on top of him disrespecting hip hop, on top of him not understanding that he was in the biggest rap battle of all time in the most important time of his career financially, because he was probably finna get one of the biggest deals that a rap art. Well, of course, it was gonna be the biggest deal a rap artist has ever gotten, and you fucked that bag up. You fumbled this rap battle, and now your career is on life support. And all the person that beat this shit out you got to do is keep doing what they've been doing. They ain't even got to bring you up no more for real.
Yeah.
They can just keep doing what they doing, keep putting on the West, keep making good music, keep getting these accolades and going about their business. He ain't even got to mention you no more, but you got to mention him to get up off the ground.
Like Kendrick is literally moving at his own pace, doing things when he wants to. It's just like having that comfortability, baby, just be free and just do what you want to. Like it just they on totally different options ends of the spectrum. Like one can do this, but the other one can't. It's just it's tough, man. It's tough, and I don't see this getting better for him anytime soon.
Shout out to Down with Dixie for the super chat. Family Matters is just a Temu euphoria. It's literally a cheap imitation. Yeah, because it does kind of have those beat transitions and stuff like that. And he tried to cover a lot of like bases, like flow wise and stuff like that. I can see that. I just feel like in the thing with Euphoria was it was all focused on Drake. It was like one or two J. Cole shots in there, but for the most part, it was all focused on Drake. And Family Matters was trying to shoot too many people at one time, too deep in the battle. Like you said earlier, DJ, like we in main event territory.
Yeah.
Why the fuck are you still worried about the undercard?
Yeah.
And that got your ass knocked out the ring. Let me go to the next super chat. Shout out to Miss Mill. She's also a sponsor of the chat today. You know what's tough? A lot of Egyptians don't know they're Black African either. Why is Aubrey like this? Bro, I thought about that line too, because when he said my blood is Egyptian, I was just like, bro. And then you look into like Hollywood's portrayal of Egyptians in the last 10 to 15 years. Ain't none of them been Black, bro. You remember the movie that was like Jared Butler and all of them other melanated, I mean not non-melanated people. What was the name of that movie? Something to Egypt, something about Egypt. Nobody was Black. The only person who was Black, I don't even think he was Egyptian.
I think I know what you're talking about.
But the point I'm making is, like, for him to say that at a time where he's being questioned on so many levels about things like that, and then all of the Egyptians just not being shown as Black in the last 15 to 20 years is like another one of those fumbles that's just crazy. What they say?
The chat said it's called Gods of Egypt.
Yeah, Gods of Egypt.
Yeah, everybody in the movie was white, which is crazy.
Shout out to Dante 86. the anti-Africanness of a lot of white Egyptians is nasty. It's like, how do you, like, bro, you like, you are in, like, you not too far from the Nile River, and this ain't finna be no history lesson, but like, bro, you are attached to so much rich African history and lineage, and you deny your blackness is crazy. You know what I'm saying? So like, I don't know, bro. It's just wild. Dre got said, another one I remember said, I like the High Whitney leak more than what he dropped. Are we even sure that that's not AI, Dre? Are we sure that's not AI?
Yeah, I never heard it. Like I heard about the title, like the High Whitney, but I never actually heard the song. Granted, I didn't look for it though either. But
I saw it on social media and I skipped it because I was just like, I couldn't tell if it was AI or not, because it had that weird little audio distortion. Yeah, I couldn't tell if it was what's the name of that. Black Hill she been going crazy in the chat. Apparently Egypt is in Memphis in Africa, but how was it a flex that if how was that a flex if no one knows? Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man. No, man.
Some Black Americans have a weird affinity for Egypt when most of us are originally West African. Where you from? Not where I'm from. We all indigenous. Man, it's crazy. Because when you think about that for real, bro, I didn't think about this one. I gotta add this to our whacked out murals. Where's the cradle of civilization? Africa, Pangea, but like Africa, like Pangea, like all of that was together at one point. Mm-hmm. So just on a scale of that, like no matter how far the continents got from each other, we all indigenous because we all from the same place. And life started in Africa. So it's like we all indigenous. Like that makes that line a triple entendre for real. Like, and we could talk about that on the Whacked Out Murals breakdown, but let's see. Okay, chat. We're gonna take a few topics from y'all. At us or put like a hashtag or something so we can know. But yeah, we're gonna take a couple of topics from y'all.
Yeah, because I mean, honestly, I ain't really got much more to say about Drake. I'm just being honest. In terms of like the Irish Freestyle.
Like, so over it, they did. So over it said the Egypt owned slaves. They did, yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to Moses. Shout out to Moses. He got him up out of there. Kendrick has not said a single word on social media. I'm sure this bothers Drake too, because he cannot figure out how K-Dot is moving or how he gonna pop out. Yeah, that would be scary because it keeps you on your toes. That's why J. Cole couldn't sleep at night. Okay, this is a question from Weedman Wade. Who had a better year in hip hop, Glorilla or Doechii?
It just depends on what you mean by better year or successful. If you're talking about numbers, accolades, in terms of like streaming, mainstream stuff, I mean, you could probably say Glorilla. But in terms of who actually made an impact, in terms of like technicality, skill, rollout, Doechii, to me, clearly got it, in my opinion, in terms of like what's really hip hop. But if you terms of like mainstream, everything else, I would say Glorilla, because she's been accepted everywhere. Everybody loves Glorilla. Like, even her album was good. I like her album. So, I mean, she definitely made a splash this year. I don't know how much longer that's going to be, though, but she definitely made a splash. And but in terms of what I would prefer to listen to, I would prefer to listen to Doechii.
Yeah. I think in all the areas that matter, Doechii had the better year.
Yeah.
Doechii literally came from not being on the radar for a lot of people, period,
to
being one of the preeminent faces in hip hop. So from that alone, I would say Doechii had the better year. Doechii's artistic expression on different mediums, like I haven't seen her Tiny Desk because I wanted to kind of do a reaction to it. I saw her Denial as Is a River video. I thought that was amazing. I saw her performance on the late night show. That was dope. Her album was dope. If you haven't saw our Alligator Bites Never Heal album breakdown, you can check that out. It's on the channel right now. So I feel like for the art form of hip hop, Dolce clearly had the better year. Like, I saw Glorilla perform at the TDE. I don't know what it was, like the TDE thing that they did in December. Like, Dolce is clearing Glorilla in all aspects of hip hop. She got better music. She a better performer. She can rap better. The multimedia content she's presenting is better. The only difference is, like, it's just clear that Glorilla had a bigger push this year. But if you put them on even playing field, I think Dolce would have had a much better year than Glorilla if they both had equal pushes.
I see another question from Sandy's Chance. She said, "Why do you think Dolce has caught fire more than Rhapsody?"
Because Dolce appeals to a wider fan base in the perspective of Dolce does a little bit of everything. Like Dolce, she still gives into the physicality aspect. She still does that. She has a label like TDE pushing her that has a long running history of success, right? She, for one, she's younger, so she's catching people as they're coming into it. And I think that the period where Rhapsody was coming up, it's like the landscape for women MCs was just different. And Rhapsody is super hip hop too, so that does kind of put her in a box to a certain extent. While Dolce is more of a all encompassing figure of entertainment. Like, because we got to look at all the ways that Dolce has attached herself to somebody as a fan throughout the year. Like, she's had amazing performances. She had this dope album, which Rhapsody also had a dope album. She did the Tonight Show thing, which Rhapsody always also did. But I just think it's just Dolce, as far as a product that we can promote to be sold, is more appealing to the general hip hop fan than Rhapsody is. I'm not saying which one is better, because of course Rhapsody has done way more than Dolce. Rhapsody has 3 of the best rap albums of the last 10 to 15 years with Layla's Wisdom, Eve, and Please Don't Cry. So don't get me wrong when I say that, but I just think as far as what mainstream music is about, Dolce was able to break the code because she's able to rap, but also appease a lot of that
casual
lower
fans.
The casual fan. She showing ass, so she getting the dudes. She's a girly girl, so she getting the girls. She can rap, she getting the rap people. She's artsy, so she getting the artsy people. She's a super duper performer already, which is insane, and a product of TDE artist development. So when you put all of these things together, you get a budding star, and that's what she is. I think she has more star power than Rhapsody as well.
Yeah, and then once Rhapsody's album dropped, now granted, her rollout up to Please Don't Cry was great.
Fire, yeah.
But once that album dropped, her visibility went very, very, very low. Like, you didn't really see or hear from her too much after that. And right after that, that's when Dolce just took off.
Well, I think it just... let me give you some kickback on that, pushback rather. She went on a very extended press run. So she did stop everywhere. I don't know if she stopped at the Breakfast Club, but she stopped everywhere else. She went to Sway. She went to Joe. She went I think she went to Cosmic Kev. Not Cosmic Kev. She went to what's his name? I think he either white or Mexican. He out west.
LA Lakers?
No. She did go to LA Lakers. She went there and dropped a fire freestyle. but I can't remember cuz name. It's Kev something. But anyway, she went to
Bootleg
a lot of
Kev.
bootleg Kev. She went to bootleg Kev. My bad, y'all. My bad. Charge to my head, not my heart. But she went to a lot of those different places, and then she went on tour. And like I told y'all, I went to the tour when we was doing the Section 8. I mean not Section 8, but Section 205 episode, and it was amazing. It was amazing. Yeah. The love that she got in there, a lot of people can't get that with triple the amount of people. Let's say it was like 800 people to 1,000 people in the venue, right? Mm-hmm. I've been to some concerts that got 5,000 people, and it's not the same as far as crowd interaction. So she's getting her love, but I also think she doesn't have a major label that's pushing her either. You know what I'm saying? So that's another thing too, because a huge thing about success is about the push that you get from the major label. That's a huge part of this. That's why people who are able to circumvent it even a little bit get more praise. But let me read this from Darian. Shout out to Darian. He mad about LeBron singing Mad at the Garden word for word. As a man, we should know it word for word. It's a manifestation. The difference between being a child and becoming a man. I listen daily. Facts. You 1,000% right.
But also, I feel so that also comes into play if you're actually putting in the work to better yourself. If you're not putting in the work to better yourself and actually do the things that'll be conducive to you becoming a better person, then I don't think that song would really resonate, even if you're just a man. I think it only really resonates if you're really trying your best to be, who you need to be. But for somebody like Drake, hell no, that shit not gonna resonate with him. And the fact that you see,
you like cuz.
Yeah, like LeBron, and like I said, that was probably the best out of all the lyrical rap-offs that LeBron be doing, mouthing words and shit. That was probably the most accurate and the best one I'd ever see him do. Like, he was rapping that shit. He rapping it hard with emotion. Like, he was going like, he was rapping that shit. He felt it.
But you can tell like a lot of that stuff resonate with LeBron, because LeBron is like one of those people that kind of attained so much through hard work and dedication and staying on a mission. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of the monetary stuff and just the peace of mind that comes with knowing that you achieved a lot of your goals in life, that song would make you feel a different way. Like, you also have people who are on that road to get there every day, like the everyday man like us who feel it. But imagine how somebody like LeBron feel it. Like the part where he say, I'm waking up at 6 a.m., 6 miles a day, conditioning my wind, or like the 2.5 million on the average day for all the people who passed away. Like, or what he said, I want to, like the part he's talking about his mama and his kids, like, and everything he do is meant to be a reflection and extension of them and making a better life for them. You tell me LeBron don't feel that? I'll be rapping that with all my chest too, because it's like Kendrick speaking to me because he's speaking to the human experience and he's saying some real deal shit, like, and talking about his faith in God and all this stuff. I want everything that heaven allow, like, because I deserve it all.
And with somebody like a LeBron's stature, even regardless of who y'all think is the GOAT, right? Regardless of who y'all think it is, you cannot deny the impact and the level of success LeBron has had in his career. And he's still doing it at somewhat of a high level. So from LeBron's perspective, he's looking at it as, I'm putting in all this work. I'm doing all this shit at my age. I'm getting old and I'm still, I mean, not leading the league, but I'm pretty much still the face of the league. Like, I deserve all the shit that I've earned up to this point. Like, and I'm still doing it. Like, how can y'all deny me at this point? Like, the way people be talking down on LeBron in terms of the GOAT conversations to elevate Michael, like, we know how great Michael Jordan was. We know his impact. But y'all don't have to shit on LeBron like that to make Michael Jordan better. Like,
yeah,
you can damn near talk about LeBron and Michael Jordan as far as accolades, damn near on equal level, bro. Like, you can do that. Like, there's a conversation to be had there. Like, so I totally get what LeBron, if that's his mindset, I get it. Because I'd be mad as hell too if I'm still doing this shit at the highest level. I'm the oldest nigga in the league, and I'm still dropping 30. I'm still dropping 40. I'm still like, come on, bro. Like, stop it, bro. And I'm still like, my records.
Yeah.
Like in my records, y'all will never beat these shits. It's gonna be years before y'all can touch my fucking records. Let's just be for real about it. You know how long it took for him to pass Kareem to get them points?
Yeah.
Ain't nobody gonna touch that shit no time soon. His records are gonna be solidified for a long fucking time. Like y'all gotta put some respect on that man's name, bro. I'm sorry. Y'all just got
shout out to Miss Peachy Peaches. You missed it. You're gonna have to rewind the chat or catch it on the replay. We talked about that. We talked about the MIT thing. Oh, and somebody said, the pharaohs were black. Come on, we ain't finna do that. Come from worker to graffiti inside the pyramid. They talking about they doing the science in the chat. You good, Peachy Peaches. Give us another. We're gonna take a couple more topics from y'all, and we probably gonna get up out of here. Drake not black. We claim daddy other kids when we grown. We claim daddy other kids when we grown. Yeah, at the very least we acknowledge them. Speaking from personal experience, I've had trouble doing so. But yeah, I do acknowledge them as half siblings. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we do that.
Okay.
Dad be wilding.
And see, in this, it'd be a comment like, I see you, KK. He said DJ is, or he or she said DJ is a LeBron fan. I'm not a LeBron fan. I'm a realist. And like I said, you gotta show respect at the end of the day. Like, I'm not gonna sit up here, regardless of how y'all feel about LeBron, I'm not gonna shit on that man because he has proven himself time and time again. Now, if he's the greatest of all time, that's up for debate. You can say who y'all want. I'm not gonna get into that because my favorite player is Kobe. So I can still say these things about LeBron, but also still my favorite player be Kobe. I can do that still. My son is named Kobe. So like y'all get out of here. Like let's not do that. Okay.
Yeah.
So but let's just move on to the next one.
Okay, so somebody in the chat asked, how do we feel about the Young Noble versus Nas situation? Apparently Young Noble was a member of the Outlaws, and he dissed Nas in a new song called Euthanasia. Because Nas and Tupac didn't get along for real. Well, at all, really. And they were supposed to piece it up before Pac died. So I haven't heard the song yet. I guess when we go live next, we'll talk about it. But yeah, I haven't heard the song yet.
Yeah, I'm not really
whatever it is, he need to let that shit go. Pac passed, God rest his soul, almost 30 years ago. You know, but you gotta let that shit go, because whatever it is some shit that them niggas had going on when they was 20. You gotta let it go. If Nas ain't had nothing to do with Cuz transitioning, you gotta let it go, bro. And AB said that Lupe right Family Matters. I don't know. I hope not.
Yeah, I hope not.
Because that would make him look like even more of a sucker. Because it's like all the sneak dissing you was doing to Kendrick, and then you say you ain't got a problem with him, and then you go into the shadows and you help Drake write a diss record to Kendrick. That's nasty work.
That is.
That's nasty work.
Because I seen one comment, they said that they thought Lupe worked tailor-made too.
Yeah, somebody else said that too. So I'm confused. If that's the case, if that is true, Lupe, you lost to Kendrick too. And somebody said, were you fans of Doechii when she first came out? I'm
new to Doechii.
No, not necessarily, but I was a fan of her before this came out. This being Alligator Bites Never Heal. I came around, I think the first time I heard Doechii was on The House is Burning with Isaiah Rashad, and then shortly after that we heard her on the Smino project. And then her Colors freestyle, well, not Colors freestyle, but her Colors performance when she did her song Stressed, I think that's what won me over, and I've been following with her since then. So I hope that answers your question.
Like, I didn't really know much about Doechii at all, but like Skip said it, but my first like really introduction to her is the song with Smino. and how she took over that song and went crazy rapping on that song. So it made me look into her after hearing that song. But as far as me becoming a fan, I didn't become a real fan until Alligator Bites Never Healed. After listening to that project, I'm like, no, I'm invested. I like her. I want to see what she do next.
Oh yeah, McKempe 87. Yeah, she on a song called What You Said. Like she got one of the better verses on the album. Like she took that song by the horns and snatched it. And then that verse she got on Smino is fire too. Like Doechii was like her 2023 was about getting attention through features, and she did that. So when she dropped this album, it was like she's out of here. You feel what I'm saying? So now it's just like we waiting to see what her full length album is gonna be.
Veronica in the chat said, "Family members is Drake's basic ass right. Don't put that on loop.
Don't do it to him, because I don't want to accept that either. Honestly,
like I agree with that, because the whole middle of the song where he was going at everybody else, he basically ended every line with nigga. Like that's not creative. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think Lupe would do something like that. I'm just being honest. That definitely sounds like more so something what Drake would do.
All right. One more topic. Make it good, and then we're gonna wrap this one up. Y'all have been a hell of an audience. Thank y'all for showing love and sticking with us this whole live. Make sure y'all hit a like in the a like on the video. Can we get a Schoolboy Q on a sitcom? He coming. He was in the trailer. What, DJ?
Bro, look at that comment from Dante, bro. Dante 86.
How do y'all feel Dot would fare in a lyrical battle with Ransom? Shit.
Get your shit on, Skip.
I ain't gonna do that. But a lyrical battle.
If y'all realize the conversations we have about Ransom behind the scenes, you will understand why I'm laughing so hard.
I feel like,
oh my god,
I feel like Kendrick would win, because I feel like what Ransom does is like such a specialty that he wouldn't be varied enough in his attack to really beat Kendrick. You feel what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. I feel like Kendrick will win, but Ransom would showcase that he's really good at what he does, but it wouldn't be enough to beat Kendrick. And I think that's a good spot to leave it. I think that's a good spot to leave it. I think that's a good spot to leave it.
Yeah, damn, boy, if y'all can see that. You be rushing the hell out of
because I don't think because you know, when we had our conversation, DJ, I don't think he's bad. Of course not, because any fan of hip hop has to respect what somebody like Ransom does. I just think that style of rap, it's so fuck it. I'm gonna say it, it's so one dimensional.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying, and you can be good. You can be really good in one dimension. Like, look at it like this. Let me see. Like, what's a place that only sells one thing?
Damn.
Like,
I would tell you if you didn't ask me.
Even Starbucks sells breakfast and stuff like that. But let's say like just a straight up coffee shop, right? Like, Ransom is a good ass mom and pop coffee shop. It's probably some of the best coffee that you'll ever have. But like, if you want a lemonade, you're not gonna get it. If you want a croissant, you're not gonna get it. You feel what I'm saying? And Kendrick is like a shop that like sells breakfast, lunch, and dinner and coffee still. So you feel what I'm saying? I just think he it's just too one-dimensional. I think a lot of those rappers have a problem with being one-dimensional, whether it be him, fucking Rock Marcy, just all of the rappers in that lane. You feel what I'm saying? It's just too one-dimensional. Like, it's like they good with that. It's just too one-dimensional to like really stick out. But it's just not enough for people outside of that niche Like they service that niche well, but it just doesn't extend outside of the niche. Krispy Kreme donuts. Shout out to I Miss Mackey. Exactly. But you can go to Dunkin' Donuts and get a slew of shit.
Yeah.
And while their donut for donut, Krispy Kreme might have the edge. But if you need breakfast, you're not going to Krispy Kreme.
That's
and
a fact.
Also, Krispy Kreme ain't Krispy Kreme unless the hot sign is on. So yeah, I hope that answered that question. Yeah, Ransom is good. He got a Monroe. He got a project. I don't know if it's titled Seven Sins, but he got a project wrapped around the Seven Sins, and I think that's the dopest project I've heard from Ransom. So if you want like a project to listen to of his first, go check that one out. And if you don't become a fan after that, he probably ain't for you.
Yeah. But Ransom, he dropped like 5 projects a year. So
this is true. And I think that hurts too. But if you just existing in that one dimension, it's easier. But yeah, man, I do want to say appreciate y'all for showing love in the chat. Shout out to all of the super chats. We're gonna probably try to do this on Saturdays. So like after we drop our Decipher Saturday episode, whether that's a reaction or a album or lyric breakdown or whatever the case, we'll try to come on live and do this to engage y'all in different ways outside of that content and just talk about some stuff that's currently going on in hip-hop. So shout out to the Mod Squad. Hey, and shout out to Ozu. He is a marketing genius. I saw him. He said he welcoming people to the Decoder Ring. Fire.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man. Shout out to all of y'all. And if you are a patron, aka Dakota, or if you're a YouTube member, episode 4 and 5 of Dakota Road to 100 will be available, if not tomorrow, no later than Monday. So shout out to y'all for that. Y'all have a great evening. Until next time, man. We out of here. Peace. Here we go.